Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good Tuesday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Rodgers, creator and host of On the Spot with David Rodgers. No, Mr. Byron Bagwell tonight, as he's going home. He's not feeling so great tonight. A little bit tired. He said he will be here next Tuesday for sure. No Austin Stevens to give the weather, but I will be doing that. Joining me tonight is Judith Sally Young. Which one?
Of those.
One of those. One of. Anyway, Judith is what I like to call her. And, of course, our producer and director, Super Dave Holland. Dave, you know, I told the viewers last week that you was going to show us the Cupid Shuffle. The Dancing Destroyer. I guess it's not going to happen this week, is it?
No, it is not.
It is not? And I wonder why, Dave. Because I haven't showed you the dance move yet?
That's good.
That's a good answer. That's a good reason.
Good reason.
Okay, that's a heck of a reason there. But anyway, welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers on a beautiful Tuesday, July the 2nd. Got a lot of things coming up today as far as our show goes, but we got a lot of things going on this week. And the main thing that's going on as far as our community goes is the Star Spangled Splash Bash.
That's it. It's back.
It's back again, third year, and we're going to be talking to Judith Young Sally, and I hope that Michael Heater will be joining us here as well. He had an invite to the show, and I'm sure he's probably trying to put out a fire too that's going on with Splash Bash, trying to get the last-minute things lined up and detailed out for you. But anyway, welcome in. We're going to start the show as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody that's tuning in, please bow your head as we go into prayer. Our righteous Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this beautiful time that we have with each other, the On the Spot with David Rodgers crew. Even though some members are missing, dear Lord, that, you know, you just touch each and every one of them, whatever it is that they may be doing, dear Lord, and to touch us and bless us as we bring the information to our viewers, and our viewers take that information and do fit as they see with it, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, dear Lord, the United States of America, the most freest and powerful nation in the world today, dear Lord. Yes, some people don't think that, and maybe it isn't right now, dear Lord, but I can assure you this, with your guiding and touching and healing hand, you can guide us into the right direction, dear Lord. Please touch all of our politicians that work for us each and every day, that they make the right decisions. Not for them, but for us, dear Lord, the people. That's what drives America, dear Lord, is the people of this great country. So please touch each and every one of them. Thank you for the armed forces that we have, dear Lord. Everyone that's serving in each and every one of those military services, dear Lord. Keep a hedge of protection over them as they are serving either abroad or in the continental United States, dear Lord. Please touch them and bring them home safely to their families, dear Lord. And protect them and protect us from any domestic or international terrorism that is happening in our country today, dear Lord, and anything else and anybody else and any other things that wants to ill will our country, dear Lord. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day. It goes in the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Any spoken or unspoken prayer request, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them. Touch their hearts, their souls, and their minds. You know what the problem is, dear Lord. They know what the issue is, but with your guiding and comforting hand, dear Lord, that you can touch them and make sure that everything goes okay. Thank you for work in America, dear Lord. Each and every one of us men and women that go out and work in this great country to make it thrive, to make it prosperous, dear Lord. Keep blessing each and every one of us and making sure that we do the right things for our great country. Again, thank you for this night. Thank you for the people that are here. Thank you for the people that aren't here, dear Lord, and that you got them as they're going about their way. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, and the congregation says, amen.
Amen.
All right. We are going to stand now, and we are going to do the pledge. And David, I will do a little something different. I'm going to ask Judith if she lead us in the pledge.
I think so. That'd be good.
All right, let's do that, David. Judith, whenever you're ready.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. You may be seated. Welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers. No Byron Bagwell tonight, as he's feeling just a little bit under the weather, very tired. David, you know his job, man. I tell you, he gets calls throughout the night, and just whenever he gets a call, he has to go. And he worked a lot of overtime hours this week, but he did tell me that he will be back next week, and hopefully we'll go over the Declaration of Independence, because 4th of July is coming up Thursday. Mr. Thomas Jefferson writing our great Declaration of Independence. And I tell you, hey, what a great document. Byron usually reads that every July the 4th. And he hated not to be here tonight, but he said that he would definitely read that as soon as he gets in, and we'll go over that and we'll talk about that. Also, Austin Stevens, he's not here tonight. He's got a couple of things that he's dealing with at his house. And then, of course, Mitchell Gunner on the Spot Motorsports Media. We're going to talk about Mitchell here in just a little bit. On the Spot Motorsports Media page, Judith, do you know that page has over 14,500 followers on Facebook?
And listen, the amazing thing is the numbers of views that he gets. He
stories.
covers such relevant content that people tune in. He'll make a post and weeks will go by and it will still continue to rack up views. People share it. He's got a good thing going.
Yes, he
and
does.
He's Bradford County's own.
Well, and we like it because we're actually the mothership of the page, and everything funnels through us. But it's a co-page, and the way that he's got it going on, he's fixing to try even Spotify, David. And I tell you, he's just reaching out there and grabbing whatever he can on every social media outlet, which is what we're trying to work toward as well.
Yep.
But with all the views that he gets, hey, it just helps us out tremendously because we're catching those views as well. He keeps posting stories, breaking news that's happening here each and every week. And guess what? Mr. Michael Heater is at the front door.
Now, let me go get him.
Yeah. David's going to go get him, and as David's going to get him there, we're going to continue on. But anyway, he's got a good thing going on. His podcast is on Thursdays at 7 o'clock. You can catch Mitchell Gunner and his co-host Robert. They do a great job, and great guest.
Yes.
I mean, from NHRA. He's got it, and like you said, those stories and those posts that he puts out there gets a lot of great hits. So Mitchell Gunner, continue the great work. And again, tune in to On the Spot Motorsports Media as Mitchell comes on. That show's Thursdays at 7 o'clock. Not only is Mitchell doing that, he's also running for office.
Yes, he is.
He's running for school board in District 4. And I tell you right now, I know he's out campaigning. He's out doing the things that he needs to do. And I tell you, Mitchell is just a busy guy. Got a car show he's fixing to come and do also.
Car show. We were just
that's Saturday. Yeah,
we were just talking about that.
Exactly right. But we got Michael Heater coming in, which is heading up the Start Splash Bash for the 3rd consecutive year. And he's going to come in and fill everybody in on exactly what's going on and what you can expect for this year's event. I know Judith is sitting in as well, and she's going to be talking about the vendors and some things that she's going to be involved with. She's been sitting on the board there for the last 3 years, and I'll tell you, it's been a great event the last 2 years for sure. And we're hoping this one's even going to be bigger and better.
I'm really looking forward to see what moving it to the fairgrounds has to hold for this event. It opened up some different opportunities. This year, Stark Splash Bash, so there will be a beer garden, which is something that a lot of people in the community, it's 4th of July. Let's not kid around. Some people want a cold beer on the 4th of July, and that's going to be one of the things that's going to be available.
Yeah. Yeah, Michael's joining us now. Come on in, Michael. Let's pull up and grab a seat, brother. I'm going to slide over into the middle here. Y'all all know Michael, and Michael is not only was he part of our show and still is when it is available for him to be able to do so, but he's been in charge of the Stark Splash Bash for the last 3 years. And Michael, I know, man, I hated to pull you away. I'm sure you're trying to finalize some things. We were saying, I bet he's putting out a fire.
Politically, it's we're up to a third alarm. Yeah, it's been busy. We got a lot accomplished, and I'm very thankful that we had a couple of I picked up 2 checks today.
Nice.
There you go.
So we're still in the hole, but I mean, for all intent purposes, we're much better off than we were. Super excited. Great team effort, Judith. I cannot thank you enough. One of the biggest hits that we had last year was the pie eating and the watermelon eating contest, and she is spearheading that this year again. It's going to be amazing.
So bring your appetites. I don't need no quitters. And I'm still looking for the brother and sister that captivated everybody with the apple pie eating contest yesterday. I really think that they need a rematch. I mean, honestly, the guy let his little sister win. And I'm saying brother and sister. These people were in their 20s. I don't even have my paper from last year, so I don't have the names. I'm still looking for them. I really want them back this year.
That'd be good.
I think the brothers should try to get the prize this year. So
that'd be good. I'm excited because we're doing stuff. We're doing stuff that is completely different than previous years. Last year was a learning experience for us.
Right.
You guys were there, you know. It was hot. The heat index, we had several people drop from the heat. So we decided to change things up a little bit. We have we're doing it 3 nights now.
Right.
We're doing the parade earlier in the morning. We're going down a shaded roadway. And we're doing stuff that's kind of a little outside of the norm for the 4th of July, but if there's 7 words that I cannot stand in the human vernacular is, but we've always done it that way. Well, I'm tired of doing things that way.
Yeah.
So we always want to try to do something bigger. We're trying to do something better. We want it to be something that people really appreciate and enjoy. So that's what I'm excited about, and I think we've got that. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm cautiously optimistic at this point that operationally and logistically we've got everything put together. I say that, and of course it'll jinx it. But I've been meeting with my security and safety team. We got those players in place. The fire marshal's on board with the fireworks. Hoping the city's on board with the fireworks. We've got the water slides being installed tomorrow. And for those that aren't aware, and I'm sure you probably have mentioned it, we're converting the Bradford Midway into the largest temporary water park in Florida. One slide that is expected, unless there's a problem with it, will be 4 stories tall and 75 feet long.
Whew.
So yes, it will be fun for all ages because the water slides are going to be set up for little kids and then working your way up.
David, I want to bring up that flyer that Michael's got on his page, and we got it on several pages. But I want to go back, Michael, for people that don't know who you are. And I know a lot of people know who you are. Some people that are watching in Lake City, I see them right now on Branford, Florida, and about this event. Tell them about yourself. First and foremost, I want to speak for this guy just real quick. Y'all just think he does special events. That's a bunch of malarkey. He's got a full-time job, and a couple of them at that. Not only does he work for the sheriff's office and does things, he flies a drone. He does the football games in the command center on Friday nights, takes the command center wherever he needs to be. So he's just not, Michael just does special events. No, sir. Yeah. This guy's got a full-time job, and sometimes double, because not only do you do your job, sometimes you fill in at comm.
Yeah, so...
Tell them who you are, Mike.
Okay, well, for those that don't know me, my name is Michael. Guy. I did 38 years as a firefighter paramedic.
Yep.
Retired from the city of Gainesville and then worked in Bradford County. Did a stint down at the city of Cape Coral in Southwest Florida. Got into doing special events kind of by happenstance because I bought a fire truck and decided I'm very passionate about fire safety for kids after a tragedy that happened many years ago. Really embraced that, ran with it, got into it. And then realized that, owning a fire truck is fun. And 5 fire trucks later, we've parlayed that into an event planning and entertainment company. So for those of you that may have seen pictures on the Splash Bash page or on the sister page of Fantastic Fire Brigade, the ladder truck, which we set up and spray water for the kids, we have locked that in for this weekend because I was approached by several families with special needs children that cannot climb up into the water slides or anything like that. So we've agreed to bring the fire truck out, and we're going to spray the kids with the fire truck, put the ladder up in the air for the American flag and whatnot, but we're going to be doing that one. And I got into a little bit of trouble. This was the guy who really kind of was the cheerleader for that because I'm adamant that I don't charge admission to anything. And I take a loss and a beating every year. This year, no exception, because now it's 3 times the event that it was last year.
Yeah.
I really enjoy seeing the people's reaction to it. Judith will tell you the kids had a blast last year.
That is always the most rewarding thing about all of this.
It is, you know, and so that's why we do this. And there are so many other major events coming. I mean, major events coming. I don't want to get into a certain event, but let's just say it rhymes with Cadeval Fair.
Okay, gotcha.
I've been following that.
So we'll cross that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Nothing this year. Nothing. But in 26, we have plans. We are the 6-gun territory. For those that familiar 6-gun territory from Ocala back in the 60s and 70s, well, they're making a return, and we're building the 6-gun Northern Territory here in Stark, and our first weekend show will be in November. We're excited about that. We've got 20 to 30 characters. We're going to be doing gunfights and live music and square
excellent
dancing.
Weather in November,
Excellent.
by the way.
Yes, nice
November
and cool.
is
So we've got some, well, there's a lot of stuff that's going on here, and I'm excited about it because it really gives us an opportunity to showcase not only the entertainment value for the kids, but that it showcases what we as a community are doing for patrons, the people that travel through, invite you to come to Bradford County, enjoy what we have to offer, and see how it's continuing to grow.
So, Michael, you know, the last couple of years, you know, hey, there you go, Dave. The last couple of years, you held this event at a smaller scale, but it was still on a larger scale over at the high school.
Yes.
All right, now, so we've gone a little bit bigger. Now you're at the fairgrounds. Yes. What's going to be, some people has asked me, what's going to be the difference from the last two to this one that you're going to see this year?
Well, the biggest thing is that it's not going to be quite as hot. I mean, it's still going to be warm, but we're not going to be doing everything in the heat of the day. We tried to cram a lot of stuff into a single one-day event, and it worked. I mean, it did. It worked.
Did.
But at the cost of a lot of people that experienced some difficulties. We had a couple of injuries on the water slides, to be expected because of the space. The biggest complaint that we got, though, was that the football field was so hot.
Yes.
The kids were burning their feet because they were trying to run over to where the water was. So we continue to make it bigger. We continue to make it better. So this gives us an opportunity to lock in a chance to really expand what we're doing. By moving it to the fairgrounds, it expanded our footprint. It allows us to be able to add more. Now, instead of 4 or 5 water slides, we have 10. You know, instead of having 1 concert or 2 concerts, now we have 6. Instead of having a pieting contest and we're trying to cram into a space, now we have a giant area where we're under shade. There's fans that are blowing. It's going to be cooler. It's going to be more comfortable. We've expanded. We now have more bathrooms. We now have a bigger parking area. We're not worried about people trying to figure out where they're going to park. No, I've got 400 parking spaces outside, aside from where the car show is going to be.
Right.
So everything that we're doing is just making the footprint bigger and better so that we continue to grow the event every year.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Michael, because I was involved with it with you the last couple of years.
Yes,
and
you'll be there again because I need your help.
So,
Did you really think we were going to get out of it?
Well, no, I didn't think so at all.
Oh, no.
But, Dave, if you could pull up that schedule, I want Michael and Judith to go over that schedule because what I really want to do here, Michael, is really pump this up. We've been doing it for the last month, and I think you watched the show and seen it, and some people seen it, but pumping it. I want to give you this time to really just pop this thing and say, hey, you need to be here in Bradford County and start at the fairgrounds for a free event. Now, FREE, free event. I know we charged last year. I get it. And then I know you got a lot of pushback. If we want to use that, pushback from that. And I get it. But, hey, tell everybody why they should be here in Bradford County. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Dave's going to pull up the event sheet here.
Right.
And I know you know it by heart.
Oh, yeah. So let's start off with Thursday morning, July 4th, in what is going to be the coolest parade ever, because for the second year in a row, we are going to have a military flyover of vintage World War II aircraft. Now, I will tell you, for those of you that saw last year and are aware of what happened last year, no, my mom will not be co-piloting this year. She's going to stay on the ground. She's going to ride in the parade.
Okay.
But she's not going to be flying over the parade.
Okay.
She wanted to stay on the ground. She's planning for a cruise. She didn't want to risk anything. I get it. But we are still going to have a parade that launches out. So, yeah, here, this way. There it is.
Yeah,
there we go. I had to make sure I do it correctly.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so there we go. So the parade is going to really travel down. We're going to be in the shade under Madison Street. And this is what's really important. Pay attention to this one, because we're going to give you the opportunity to go into go to the parade, watch the parade, and be in the shade of the overpass. We're shutting down the frontage roads. The parade is going to start at Southside Elementary. And for the first time in Stark's history, we're going to do a parade that celebrates and honors our senior citizens and our veterans, because we're going to pass by every nursing home in the city of Stark.
Wow.
We're going by Southside Elementary School. We're going to go by Riverwood, down Laura Street. We're going to pass by Windsor Manor, take Church Street, go under the underpass where people are going to be gathered up. Oh, by the way, we're going to have lemonade and snow cones for those of you that are going to be watching the parade there. Take it on down to Young Hearts, which is the former Parkside Assisted Living, passing Wainwright Park, and then coming back to the downtown square. After that, if you feel so inclined, bring me your worn, tattered, torn up American flags, and the JROTC from Bradford High School will give you a brand new American flag on the 4th of July to exchange it. Then, if you want to go down to Our Country Day in Keystone Heights, by all means. That's the reason why we set this schedule up the way we did, was so that you can enjoy everything. So then at 4 o'clock, as you can see, the water slides open up. Food trucks are going to be opening up. The beer garden. Yes, we are doing a beer garden. And yes, we already have a plan for getting that taken care of. Make sure you stress the word inflatable, because the axe throwing will be near the beer garden.
Right.
But inflatable axes, don't get worked up over weaponry and alcohol mixed together. At 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock, Judith Young takes center stage with the watermelon eating and then the pie eating contest. Leanne Purvis takes the stage at 6:30. Leanne Purvis was the very first musical act we booked for Splash Bash 3 years ago. She is back once again. She is our go-to girl. She is we love her to death, and she has been really successful. Looking forward to that. At 8 o'clock, local band guy Matt Wilson, the Gentleman Jukebox Band, take the stage. 9:30, we'll do a military recognition, and then we shoot off the fireworks at 9:45. All this sponsored by Schuster, Sabin, and Estevez, attorneys out of Jacksonville, Fantastic Fire Brigade, and we've got sponsorships from Rebels Fast Lube, Mosley Tire, Fallstroh Heating and Air, ViStar, and Capital City Bank have also contributed as well. So we're real happy about that.
So I want to talk about this Thursday. Great lineup, by the way, and I really like it. And I like your start times. I told you that.
Yes.
I really like the start times.
Yeah.
So after the parade's probably going to last what, Mike? An hour?
We figured we'd be done by 10:30.
About 10:30. So you're looking hour and a half.
Yep.
So now you've got a break from, let's say, 10:30 to 4.
Correct.
Now, and you were saying about you did this so some people can go other events.
So we want people to enjoy every aspect of it. And for 56 years, the city of Keystone Heights has done Our Country Day, and their parade's at 11 o'clock.
Okay, there you go.
So go down to Keystone. We encourage you. Go to Alachua. Get anything. But then, if you want to come back for some of the best entertainment you're ever going to find, the biggest water slides, the best music, the best food, you can do that. If you decide you want to do something else on the 4th of July, it's okay. Because you know why? Because on Friday night, we're doing it all over again. because on Friday night it is our R&B Motown night, and we have 3 bands that are going to be coming in. Again, we're opening up at 4 o'clock, but at 4:15, Charlie Jonas with the Sauced Up Food Trailer is going to be preparing us
That's what
for
I'm waiting
the
on.
largest low country boil in the world, folks. Yes, we're going to have shrimp and crab and potatoes and corn and sausage and all the good stuff. And he is prepared to feed 6,000 people. I'm going to hold him to it. And
His dad was just in the shop today, and he
Yes.
was like, he's working me to death.
Oh, I guarantee
All I've
he
done
is.
is prep.
I guarantee it.
Like, Charlie, if you see this, give your dad a break.
So in addition to that, and what's not on this schedule, which is actually kind of cool, is that at 4 o'clock we're bringing in the band Cohesion. They're an R&B band out of Gainesville. They'll be taking the stage at 4 o'clock. At 5 o'clock we're going to do a little superhero meet and greet. At 6 o'clock we're going to have the meet and greet with the BHS football alumni, which is awesome because I've been talking to Samson Jackson, the athletic director for Bradford School District, and these are high school graduates that went on to play football at the Division I, II level, and they're coming back to do a football camp on Friday. When they're done, they're going to come out to us, and all the kids will get a chance to have photos taken with these great college football players, and some of them could very well make it into the NFL. You're looking at future pros in the making, and they are going to be giving an influence to the younger kids as well, which I'm really excited about. At 6:30 p.m. following the meet and greet, we're going to have Party in a Box, another awesome R&B Motown band, and at 8 o'clock, Straight Up takes the stage. We're talking about some of the best music, including covers of Earth, Wind, and Fire, Kool and the Gang, Casey and the Sunshine Band. We're going to throw a little Bruno Mars in there for you, along with the Low Country Boil. This is going to shape up to be one of the best Friday nights ever. And there's nothing else going on Friday night anywhere around the region, so come on out and join us for what's probably going to be the biggest
This is going to be a party.
entertainment. It's going to be a great party on
It's going to
Friday
be an
night.
absolute party.
Absolute party.
Music, food, yes.
It's going to be fantastic. And then, if you feel so inclined, because, I'm a glutton for punishment, on Saturday, we're going to do it again.
Wow.
And this time, it's our Boots, Scoot, and Barbecue Bonanza. We are going to be doing a barbecue competition, and we're going to be serving barbecue. So the Midway this time opens at 2 o'clock because, let's face it, nobody ever gets tired of water slides.
No.
We're also going to be doing the Nerf Battle Zone. So come on out. You're going to have Nerf games. We're going to have a perimeter set up with barriers. You're going to be able to play Nerf games with your family or create your own teams and have a good time. Beer garden and the axe throwing opens at 2:30. Again, we're going to have superhero meet and greet at 3, followed by the Ghostbusters coming in at 4 o'clock. And at 5 o'clock, this is where it gets really interesting. We're going to do square dancing from 5 until 6:30. That was a big request, and we want to do it, and I'm happy with that one. But what's really cool is that 25 characters from Six Gun Territory are going to be here to dance, to do a meet and greet. There might be a little Western action going on. We don't know how that's going to work out. But there's going to be an opportunity for them to meet and greet. 6:30, we're going to do a little pro wrestling, followed by Southbound 41 taking the stage at 8 o'clock. And again, fireworks scheduled at 9:45 on Saturday. Right now, fireworks are Thursday and Saturday. If we get another sponsor to step up and help us in the short term, we're going to go ahead and try to do them on Friday night as well. But right now, fireworks Thursday and Saturday at 9:45.
All right, so on Thursday, I think you've got me being on the stage doing that on Thursday, right?
Yes, you are the master of ceremonies.
On
which means
Thursday.
You're going to be, yes. If something goes wrong on the first night, it's your
my fault.
It's your
Oh,
fault.
it's my fault.
Saturday,
Friday, we've actually got, is it Janice Mortimer?
Janice Mortimer is not available.
Okay.
Edric Hamilton, I'm sure you know Edric.
Yeah, Edric.
12 Guys in Bow Ties, 12
Yeah,
Guys in Pros.
he does a good job.
He's going to be involved. We're going to have, and then Carolyn Spooner is going to be
Carolyn
involved as well.
Spooner, yeah.
So we're going to have some folks that's going to be doing that on Friday night. And then on Saturday night, the former Miss United States Agricultural, Caitlin Von Heusen,
Right.
will be the master of ceremonies. And because I know that you just don't fill out a dress the way that she does, she's going to handle the ring announcing. So, with just saying. But we have, and again, we did this because three nights. That's a long time.
Yes,
and,
it is.
And at this point, I'm not trying to be sarcastic or facetious about this one. I don't want anybody but me getting burned out. So I have 3 teams assigned. I've got a team on Thursday, I have a team on Friday, I have a team on Saturday. And so we can
Different folks.
Different folks.
Okay.
So this allows so that we're not now. If something happens and somebody bails out, one of us can step in. But it allows us to have a fresh face and a fresh set of eyes for safety, for security, for fun, for logistics. It allows me to make sure that all of my teams are operating at peak efficiency, so that everyone out there can have the best time possible.
All right, so I noticed one thing that we didn't talk about right here, and there's your superheroes right there.
Yep.
Was the car show. Tell us a little bit about the car show. I know that Mitchell Gunner and CeCe Marie is going to be
Yes.
mainly hosting that. I know
Yes.
she's going to be
Yes.
in it.
And I'm
so tell us a
excited.
little bit about the car show.
Well, I am proud to announce that for the first time ever, I'm entering the car show.
Oh, okay.
I'm bringing the Mac. So for those that don't know
Okay.
the Party Squad is a 1983 Mac fire truck that has been converted into my Party Squad with grills and flat screen TVs
Oh.
and satellite dishes. But it's still a vintage fire truck. So that is the truck that Congresswoman Kat Kammick will be riding in the parade on Thursday. I'm probably going to roll it out here. I'm not competing. I'm just putting it out because
You're just putting it in.
I just like
the-
fire trucks, so I just want to see it. Mitchell Gunner, shout out to Mitchell, shout out to Cindy or CeCe.
CeCe, yes.
CeCe for putting together again another amazing car show program. We're excited about this one because we're looking at dozens of cars.
Well, you know the reason why is because this one is actually in the evening. We're having a July car show that's going to take place starting at 5.
Right.
And that's where you're going to get a lot more participants because by then it's cooling down. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to do it at noon.
Right.
So I think this is going to be a really huge crowd on this one.
And I'm excited about it because we're changing up a little bit about the way the prizes are awarded. We've got some door prizes. We're going to be awarding the plaques and certificates. Mitchell and CeCe do an amazing job. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to see how this is going to come out. And of course, we'll announce, Saturday night the winners and everything like that. The other cool part about this is that on Saturday, for those that may not be aware of it, with the barbecue competition, we're actually going to have a pretty big time celebrity in the house.
Yeah, I want you to talk about. I'm glad you mentioned that. Tell us who's going to be there, Mike.
So, for those of you that are fans of Fox's Master Chef,
Which I am.
and everybody loves that one, in season 2, Christine Corley is one of the finalists that finished up. She was from the Tallahassee area. She ended up moving to Indiana, opening up a chain of restaurants, very successful restaurants in there. And she has agreed to come back. So we have booked the flight. She's got her hotel. She's ready to go. Christine Corley from Master Chef Season 2 will be our celebrity judge, one of several, for the barbecue competition on Saturday night. She'll be available for photos and autographs and everything like that as well. She'll be bringing her cookbooks and everything like that as well for those that are interested. And what's neat about this is that because we have a Fox television alumni
Right.
in the thing, Fox 30 has expressed an interest in coming down and doing a
Good.
feature on it.
Good.
And so we're excited about this. And again, this is all expanding. We're trying to do things different, out of the box. Are we Clay County? No, not yet. But we are working on doing something that just really draws the community in and lets people know that, hey, you know what? We want you guys to come together as a group. If you're on social media, you know that there's a lot of conflict that goes on there. And I get that. And that's the best part about our country, and I think Byron would attest to this, is that what makes our country great is that we tolerate differing opinions
sure.
on different topics. This is a chance for you to come together because I don't care if you're a Republican, I don't care if you're a Democrat, if you're a Libertarian, if you're the Green Party, whatever you are. On the 4th of July and for the 5th and the 6th, we're Americans.
There you go.
Come on out and celebrate it like you want to, because this is what we're going to do. Now, we are also very careful because, again, we're coordinating with Bradford County Sheriff's Office
Right.
and Bradford County Fire Rescue, so we're going to have fire marshal on site, we're going to have paramedics on site, we're going to have deputies on foot patrolling the area in uniform and in plain clothes. So and then in addition to that, for the water slides, we're going to have the Sheriff's Office Explorers and the JROTC watching the little slides for the kids to kind of help make sure no one's staying too long and risk getting kicked or hurt or anything like this one. So we have a safety plan in place. You've seen a copy of my safety plan. It's
Yep.
28 pages long.
Yep.
I think the only thing I didn't account for was shark attack, but
So,
we'll get
yeah.
to that later. But we've put forth a lot of effort to make sure that this event is not only the best it can be and the most fun you can have, but also a safe place where you can come with your family and really enjoy yourself and not be stressed about, hey, what's going on, what could happen, because we have eyes on the perimeter and we have eyes on the inside, assuring for everyone's safety.
Yeah, and you got security, Mike, not only just on the inside, but you got it on the outside in the parking lot when you walk into your car.
Yeah.
Man, you got people patrolling everywhere.
Yes.
And that's one good thing about this event. Even the last two that's been done was there's always a police presence, always fire presence.
Yes.
There's always a paramedic present, and that makes it for a safe and fun event. I want to turn it over. Let me go over some comments real quick and welcome some people on.
Sure.
Michael Heater. And of course, Judith is joining us here talking about the Splash Bash event that's coming up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. He just went over 3-day event this time. Yes, the hours are cut just a little bit short, but I agree with you. That day that you did it last year,
It was hot.
So
wasn't it the hottest day of the year?
It was one of the
Or
hottest.
one of them?
We in the afternoon we went back and checked the records, and the temperature at 2:00 in the afternoon, 2:30, on the field was right at 102 with a heat index of 106 or 116. Excuse me, 116.
I was
And
gonna
that was just the
say.
heat radiating
I know
off of
that
the
I
field.
was hurting.
It was we had deputies that started to go out
Yeah.
on us. We had one person go unresponsive from the heat. The paramedics were on top of it and they were taking care of it. So I really felt driven to make sure that I'd rather do 3 evenings than one full hot day. And this again allowed me to be able to really put together something that is an opportunity for you to enjoy it. You know, that's the
Right.
thing about it. I mean, how much can you enjoy it if you're just dying from the heat? And for those of you that aren't familiar with the fairgrounds, let me go ahead and reinforce this as well. So we have the swine barns, the cattle barns, the chicken and rabbits like that. So we've cleared those out. They've got giant ceiling fans. We've got other box fans in the corners. This allows us to be able to do it. So last week we went out when it was so hot. Remember
Yes.
last week it was hot. So I got a little portable thermometer and I walked outside, and at the time it was 11:30 during the day, and I'm looking at this thing, it was 96 degrees. I walked into the shaded area without the fans on.
Right.
Without the fans.
Without the fans.
And it was 81.
So you're talking a 15-degree difference just like that.
Like that. So that is what you get to enjoy. So where the beer garden is going to be, and the inflatable axes, and everything else like that one, it's going to be in shaded areas with fans blowing, so the temperature is going to be cooler, and we're not going to. I hope we're not going to have the heat stress that we experienced last year. Now you are going to have to go outside, because on Saturday, just north of where the dancing and everything's going
Right.
on, is going to be the petting zoo. So there is going to be outdoor
Yep.
activities, but we're putting up a large tent, so you'll be able to get out of the direct heat. The animals will be there for a few hours on Saturday afternoons, so
Right.
the kids can come out for the petting zoo. We've tried to accomplish and account for everything that would be attractive to the entire community. As diverse as we are, what can we do to make it fun for everybody? So we've varied the music, we vary the food, we varied the animal and the entertainment. We've done everything that we can do, because we want everyone to feel very inclusive. We want everyone to come together and just have a great time.
Again, Michael Heater and Judith. I'm going to ask Judith here a couple of questions here in just a minute, but I want to get to some comments here. By the way, back in your seat, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you miss it?
I do miss it a
Do
little
you?
bit.
Okay.
I feel, I feel like I should be giving a weather report or something.
Well, maybe you should here in a minute. Dave's going to bring it up, and you can give it. You probably already know it by heart.
Oh, I've been studying it.
Matt Peterson is watching. He says it's time to play ball, and I know you want to give some
Hold
shout
on
out.
a second. Let me stop the truck right here. Matt Peterson. None of this would happen without Matt Peterson. Matt is my
true.
sound guy.
Yes.
He is the one that makes all the music. He's the one that makes the magic happen. Matt, I have said this to you personally. I want to give you a shout out publicly. Thank you for what you do. You have done it every year. You've been my go-to, and I honestly, what makes me comfortable is that there are certain aspects about planning special events like this one where I can sit here and go, here, and then I walk away. I have not given Matt a second thought, and that's not derogatory.
No, because
That
you know
means
he's going to get the job
I
done.
trust Matt implicitly, and he will always deliver. Scott Munnings, my logistics guy. I go, Scott, this is what I need. I called Scott today on a whim, and I was like, hey, just checking in because I haven't talked to you in, I don't know, 6 weeks. And he goes, well, I'm celebrating my anniversary, and we're doing this, and I'm down here in Orlando. But by the way, this is done, and we're delivering this and this and this tomorrow. And I'm like, okay.
So he's got a crew already
It's
doing
done.
this.
Everything's finished.
Yeah.
I talked to Judith a month ago, 2 months ago, and I was
something
like,
like that.
hey, the biggest hit of this thing was the apple pie and watermelon. I think we went 4 weeks. I didn't say a word to you. I wasn't worried about it. It was going to get done.
ready.
It was great. This is the sort of thing that you can't do this by yourself. And I have an absolutely amazing team. I have a master of ceremonies here that knows his role, does a great job. I've got someone coordinating some of the entertainment with the kids. We've got the water slides coming in. We have folks in place that allow for everything to run seamlessly. The way I like to think of it is that our team is like a duck. If you watch a duck going across the water, it's smooth and no problem at all. And the legs underneath are just going to town. But on the surface, everything's running smooth, and that's what we are. We are a well-oiled team, and it doesn't work without everyone else.
And I know, and I'm glad of something, and it's something that you said, and you really made a big point of. And I like that there's 3 different teams
Yes.
on 3 different nights.
Yes.
Yes, I know some people are going to cross over. I know you got to be there because
we'll see, yeah.
you're the guy that's headed this up. This is your idea. This is your creation. You have to see it through. I know John Probst is going to be there.
John is gonna be there.
all 3 nights, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Or as many nights as he can be.
Yep, he's gonna be
So
there.
there's going to be some crossover. But let's just say, for an example, I had a fishing trip on Saturday. I don't have to worry about it because Mike has already told me where I'm going to be
Right.
and what I need to do.
Yes.
So if I needed to do something Saturday, it's already covered because Miss Van Heusen is going to do it, right?
She's stepping in.
She's doing the wrestling announcing, and she's also introducing. She's doing the stage work on Saturday,
she's doing
right?
stage work on Saturday, right.
So okay, then we've got Mr. Hamilton
Yeah, we got Edric, who's going to
and Spooner, Miss Spooner. They're going to be doing it on Friday night.
Right.
So it gives everybody a break, even though it's starting later in the afternoon. It gives everybody a break that that is part of the team in case we have something going on. You said you had to work Friday.
I do.
I know Byron has to work Friday. I know we got that meet and greet, and I hope he can be there. I know I'll be there, but I know the events that I need to be at. So if I need to schedule something, I can do it. And Mike knows it's going to be covered because he's already got it covered.
Yeah, and the
He
best
don't
part
have to-
about this is that if someone falls out, if something happens on
You call
Saturday,
me, or you
I
call
can call you and go, Dave, I need this, this. And,
Bam.
and it's there.
And it's there.
That allows me to be able to do everything that I need to do
Right.
to make it happen. And I'm really excited about that.
I-
And that gives us an opportunity to really
I
put together a team.
really like the differential, the 3 teams on each night. I understand. Like I said, there's crossover. I get it. But for the most part, if something happens to you, or so you need to do something, or something goes on, show goes on,
If
right?
nothing else, like we move it to another day.
Yeah.
Well, see,
So,
and that's the thing. You just
about
put.
having a good team.
Right. And the thing
Yeah.
is that there is if something happens to you, you get hit by a train.
God forbid.
God forbid.
I don't know. The tracks are in my backyard. It
well,
wouldn't be
yeah.
that hard.
I have some now. Do I feel confident that they would be able to pull it off? Yeah. Could they do it with the success that Judith would do it as? No.
No.
Because she's excellent that she's done it before. But I have a backup. We all have a backup. John Probst is my backup. If something happens to me, John could step in. And it's the same thing here. If I lose a master of ceremonies, if something happens that Edric can't do or something like that one, I know I can call you.
Right.
But we have it separated out so that you're not stressing about everything happening all at once, running
And
around,
plus-
and it's done. And then we've got some flexibility, so in an emergency or something happens, we've got a backup.
Plus, that person don't have to be there. Whether it's me, whether it's no,
Yeah,
you have to be there.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
whether it's Judith or whether it's my buddy, the Munnings, or whatever. He doesn't always necessarily. It gives him a break, gives him time to spend with his family. Maybe they're not going to come to the Splash Bash that particular day. He can spend time with his family.
Exactly.
And that's why we have these different teams. Mike, if out of any idea, I love that idea. That idea just, when you told me what was going on, I felt like, I don't have to be there all the time. And it's not that I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
It's, we all feel like we're always obligated to do something. And you don't have to always feel that obligation to always be there.
And I think what a lot of people don't understand is that it's one thing, and I'm going to pick on Judith for a little bit like that.
Sure.
Okay, a pieting contest is going to take 30 minutes.
Right.
Roughly. Okay, watermelon's going to take 30 minutes.
There's so much more that goes
Oh
into
my
it.
gosh!
You know how
kidding
hard
me?
it is to procure like 60 watermelons
Yes.
or 45 or 50 apple pies? People look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah, but here's the thing about this. So there's so much work that goes into this one.
Right.
Master of Ceremonies. Yeah, he's going to be on stage talking and playing music.
Right.
Yes, he is. But there's so much prep that goes into this one.
Right. I have to get with Matt Peterson. I don't know
Yes.
what's up. Me and Matt have to get together.
You and Matt have to do sound checks for the bands
Yes.
that are coming in. You have to be there hours in advance.
Yes.
There's so much. So is it fair for me to look at you and go, "Hey, look, we're probably going to wrap up at midnight. Oh, and by the way, we're
Don't come back at 7.
Yeah, I need you back." No, that's ridiculous.
See, I like that
so
one.
for 3 days, if I've got somebody else that can fill it. Now, if I have something leaves or there's a problem, I can sit here and go, "Look, I know, but." And
Right.
I've got backup.
You got backup.
And I got trusted backup. And that's what's important. But the idea of us having different teams that operate each
Love it.
day
I love
allow us to make sure that you can spend time with Shelly and the kids and
Right.
the family.
Or whatever I need
You
to
can
do.
spend time with Nathan. I can spend time with Lisa. My grandkids can come over. I can go play
Right,
with them
right.
on the water slides or whatever we wanted to do because I've got teams of people that are making sure that everything works. And that to me is what's important because we want to be able to enjoy it as much as you do. And by having these different team assignments,
Right.
now on a Friday or a Saturday, if you wanted to go do something else, you want to go see the fireworks in Jacksonville or something like that,
Right.
you can.
You
can do
can,
what you
right.
want to do because we're going to open this up and make it a 3-day program so that everyone can do it at their schedule.
And I like it too that you open it. We talked about teams, but you were saying, I love that gap where you was like, you thought about Keystone. I know Keystone's been doing, what'd you say?
56 years.
56 years, they've been doing their thing.
Yeah.
You can go over there for a little while. Hey, and if you want to stay over there, Mike, hey, that's fine too. But if you have an opportunity to come back at 4 and catch hours, or what we're putting on, what they're putting on, and look, the bang for the buck, $0 to get in.
You're not going to
Where are you going to find that at? You tell me.
Yeah, you're not.
Have you found one yet?
Yeah, actually, that's
have you?
true. I have found one.
Okay.
The Bradford Fairgrounds this coming weekend.
Okay, no, that's the one then.
There you go.
All right. So Matt Peterson said it's time to play ball, Mike.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Billy Rayburn, man, is he on his meds? Is it snowing outside, or is your hair
I love
just
Billy. Listen.
is your hair just that white? Yeah. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate it. I'm David. You will have to do something about that. Good evening, brothers, sisters, patriots, infidels, and miscreants. That's Mr. Byron Bagwell.
I know him.
Yeah, you know him. Austin Stevens, say hello to him.
There you go.
Yeah, Miss Shirley Bagwell's on. She said, good evening, gentlemen and ladies.
Oh, by the way, Miss Shirley, if you're watching, I have a message from my lovely bride. She says, expect a phone call because Blue Water Bay is expecting us. There you go, just saying.
Matt Peterson says, takes a team. What you been preaching? Lisa Moody Tomlinson's watching. Good evening to you. Jeff Riggins, my buddy over in Branford's watching. Jeff, make sure you bring your teenage daughter. Come on over, man. This is the place. Hey, I know it's a little drive, but it ain't gonna cost you nothing when you get there, except for the food and the things like that that you need to participate, that you want to get.
Yeah.
But as far as just coming in there and watching the bands, going on the water slides, that's free.
That's it.
The painting contest, the water.
Yeah.
That's all free.
Every bit of it. Yeah.
Mitchell Gunner, good afternoon, brother. Kay Colson Waters is on. John Probst says, Michael, you are my hero. And he puts a little smiley face up there.
You should get out more often.
Yeah, you should get out more often. Wendy Brzezinski's watching.
Shout out, Wendy. Let me
Okay.
another shout out to Wendy.
Yeah, yes.
For those that don't know Wendy,
Oh,
hi
yes.
Wendy. She is the high school band program manager, band
Yes,
director.
yes.
The Bradford High School Marching Band is going to be in the parade. I am yes, I got them. She locked it in. We're going to have a band in the parade this year.
Let me ask something. Are they
I'm-
wearing their uniforms? You don't care, right?
I don't. I'm getting music. I don't care.
Right, yeah.
Yes, we're putting them between floats. We're gonna have. It's gonna be a marching. But we're gonna have the legit parade with a marching band on the 4th of July. Super excited, Wendy. Thank you for helping me pull this off because one of the biggest things that draws of a parade in my mind is the music, and a marching band absolutely does that. Thank you for participating and supporting.
Matt Peterson said they're loading the pro audio equipment now at the warehouse, so he's getting ready to go.
Excellent.
Mitchell Gunner says, Michael who? Lots of laughs.
I get that a lot.
Oh, Billy Rayberg, no, I was not. And at one time I heard he was a male gigolo. Yeah, Yeah, what? When was that, Billy? You just tell me.
This is-
Talking about you or
Both of us.
oh, just checking.
Yeah.
Were you
Dave
a
Holland Jr.
firefighter dress up as a firefighter?
Maybe it was. Maybe he was in Magic
They have
Mike.
it-
Listen.
See, that's where
Yeah.
mine went. So
Hold on,
I had to.
hold on. Ask me no questions, and I'll tell you no lies. Anyway,
There you go. All right, I got you. Priscilla Jackson's watching. Cindy Lane. Wendy says, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Michael Heater, for spraying the marching band after pre-band camp. We really appreciate it.
I had a great time. Enjoyed it. Yes.
Sam Shealstock's watching. Yeah, Matt Peterson. Yeah, you do free. Well, it is what it is.
It is.
Jennifer and Michael Starks is watching. I believe you just dropped out, Dave. I don't know if he was talking about you. I don't know if we lost connection for a second, but we're back because I see the views. Judith is. You're watching?
I am,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Mitchell Gunner, back up. Yep, that's it. Kim Whittemore Nichols is watching.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Hey, Matt Peterson said, don't forget about the sacks, Mike. Do you know what that means? Is this a,
So, well,
Okay.
Matt is a little concerned about it because it's a community outreach event like that one, and I think he's a little concerned about all the Saxon violins that could.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Got to read between the lines, Dave. Mitchell Gunner, Car and Truck Show starts at 5, as you just hit, and y'all just hit. Nathan Thornton's watching. Shirley Bagwell, is Dwight in the barbecue cook-off?
I don't know. That's another part of this thing that worked
Right.
out beautifully. I signed that to somebody else. I check in once a month. I check in once a week. We have barbecue teams that are competing. I haven't seen the list yet. I'm supposed to get it. I'll probably will here either tonight or tomorrow so we can make announcements. I don't know who the teams are that are competing. I know that there's a number of teams, and
I may have heard something about Travis Pierce and Big T's is coming in, win everything.
I wouldn't be surprised because we've got some amazing teams that are competing. So I heard that the sheriff's office barbecue team is going to be competing as well.
Really?
So I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. Matt's the one handling all that, and I'm again same deal. I handed it to him and I walked away because I've got too much other stuff on my plate.
Don't put no ideas in Michael Heater's head. No, I'm not doing that. Remember, I said I was going to, but I'm not going to do that. Do you know what this is, Michael? Do you know what he said? Mitchell Gunner, I want to see David Rodgers get chased by a K-9 from the sheriff's office.
So I'm going to save you on this one. I'm gonna save you on this one.
Please.
We have one active canine,
Okay.
and it's an ammunition dog. He doesn't chase people. He just searches out for gunpowder and.
Dave Holland, thank God he did save me. Good grief, because I knew that that was just an idea and it'd be twisted in his head,
Yeah,
and he talked me into it.
I got you.
Yeah, please, thank you.
I got
So
it.
he wouldn't chase you, but he will sniff you
He
down.
will snip me down, see if I got any ammo on me.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
CC Marie, I know you're joining late. Thank you for coming on. Michael was just talking about you and Mitchell with the car show on Saturday. He really appreciates you, what you're doing for that, and what you guys are doing. So he gave you a lot of great words, and I'm sure he'll be talking to you at the event on Saturday.
Indeed.
Dwight Allen is watching. Good evening, brother. I know you're on vacation, so hey. I don't know. Are you going to be in this cook-off thing or whatever? I guess.
I haven't heard if he is.
You haven't heard?
I don't know.
Mitchell Gunner says, thank you, Matt, for being the sound guy. Absolutely. Dwight Allen said, nope, I'm at Kingsley Lake. I knew he was on vacation this week.
A lot of people are going to Kingsley Lake, and I totally understand that. I get that, but not everybody gets a chance to go to Kingsley, so we're trying to bring a little bit of Kingsley
To here.
To here.
Yeah, absolutely. David Brassage is watching, one of my schoolmates from Pascagoula. Hey, David, how are you? Dwight, I would just come there to get some. Shirley said, well, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Or you could come here to the Splash Bash and get some.
There you go.
Good evening, brothers. That's Robert McGee. And Dwight Allen said, you're always welcome to Shirley. And she goes, I know, and puts a heart there.
Yeah.
Thank you, CC, for being part of the car show. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Because I know that y'all got that down pat. Michael's going to be doing and checking out different things.
Again, same
Y'all
concept.
got it.
They got it. I don't know what's going on with the car show. I don't care, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Listen, the car show is like Allstate. It's in good hands. I'm not worried about
That's it.
That's fine.
Hey, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Mitchell Gunner, I will always show up for my favorite crew. Yeah.
And me too.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
He shows up for me, and I appreciate that. Even thank you. That's it.
Heater, I'll get with you on the 6-gun help, Robert McGee.
Yes. So
Okay.
again, let me get through this weekend. But yes, for those that, I'll just throw it out there for Robert and that sort of thing like that. Yes, we are looking for more characters. We're looking for carpenters. We're looking for folks to help build the western town and everything like that one. But yeah, we'll chat. Get with me. Give me a week to recuperate, and then I'm all yours.
Let's see. Dale Woodruff's watching. You know Dale.
I do know Dale. This would not have happened without Dale Woodruff because he's the fair manager, and everything that we're doing for the 4th of July had to go through him and the board, of course, and Bob Milner being the president. But the buck stops with Dale.
Yep.
And I can't thank Dale and Pam. Pam's my finance director for this because in an incident command system or an event command system, you got to have a finance person.
Right.
And Pam is my finance person, and Dale is handling operations.
Wow.
It works. Again, I could not do this without the Woodruffs, and I really appreciate them. Dale especially. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mitchell says, Dale, bring out your card for the car show. I haven't seen a response yet.
That's good.
Mark Udy's watching. Hello. John Probe says, you do have a great team.
Yeah, we do.
Shirley Bagwell says, thanks to all for making this so fun and special for our community. And that's all he's trying to do, and everybody's trying to do. Just have fun with it. Robin Corbin Lee's watching. Jeff Riggins, hey, buddy, I just want to say hello and thank you for all the support. Miss seeing you. I miss seeing you too, brother. I know you got some things going on, but I'll be calling you here real soon. Y'all don't want me in those eating contests. Lots of laugh. DJ Fathead Matt can eat a lot.
I'm hoping.
You're hoping he does?
I would love to see it.
Well,
I've had a couple of people reach out to me, and some bigger guys really motivated and thinking that they're Schwinn. And I've done a lot of research on these contests, and honestly, it's not very often the big guy wins. Like, it's usually like that.
Yeah.
The little skinny, scrawny guy that walks
Are
there.
you Joey Chestnut?
Similar to that, yeah.
Yeah, similar to that?
So those are the ones that usually do really well in that. So, like, just because, like, you're DJ Fathead Matt like that.
Yeah. Matt said, call him after the show if you don't mind. I know you got a lot of things going on. He said he will. He said he'll get with you on that. Shirley says, I can dance on the tables for free. Oops, I meant the stage.
Well,
I'm not touching that.
she means square dancing, of course,
Yes,
on Saturday
of course
night
she
at 5
does.
o'clock.
Yeah. Yes, I hope so. And then here comes Cece right here. Shirley Bagwell, I'll challenge you to a dance battle. Hey, maybe something for you to film there. Saxophone on Friday performance, Matt said.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. I'm the band booster president, though. Mrs. Melanie Riley Gonzalez is our amazing band director, and I was under the same impression, Mike.
That's my fault. Yes, actually, yes, Mrs. Gonzalez, I've been talking to her too, but Wendy's been a huge help at everything like that. When the entire organization, the high school has been supportive, from Will Hartley and Chris Cogg all the way down. Sampson, the band, the football teams, everyone has really pitched in to support this, and I appreciate that because, again, no man is an island. We cannot do this. I cannot do this by myself, and it is so nice to have a great support system like we have in Bradford County and this area.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Byron Bagwell, a dog named Chopper. Oh, Billy Rip. He will sniff you like Joe Biden. Michael Majeri's watching. Good grief. So, Mike, let's move on here.
Yeah, so for those of you that haven't seen it, pick up a copy of this week's Telegraph. Oop, let me put it right over here.
Right, there you go.
So it is a full-page ad of all the events that's happening in the Splash Bash. It does need to, there's a couple of minor things like that. We've already addressed the fact about that starting at 2 o'clock on Saturday. But it's in the newspaper, and for those of you that are interested, on the next page over is the Keystone event. So you can literally look at what we're doing in Stark, look at what's going on in Keystone or Alachua or anywhere else, and say, oh, well, you know what? I'd rather do this, but we can come back and do this one. And you can plan out an entire itinerary. But it is in this week's paper. Shout out to John Ryan Tillman and John Miller for putting this together. And then for Cliff Smelly for the photographs and everything like that one. So, yes, make sure you pick up your copy of the Bradford Telegraph to see all of the schedules for all 3 days. That's
great. All right. I want to go to you before I let you guys go. I know, Mike, you're busy. By the way, I really appreciate you taking time. I've already seen his phone. It was blowing up.
Yeah,
it's blowing up, and it's still going. And I know Michael needs to take care of some things, but I want to go over to you, and you can back this up, Mike. Okay. Our vendors. So what can we see as far as our vendors? I know what we've seen last year. What are we going to see as far as vendors
This year, the focus is going to be on the food trucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a variety.
Who do you got? Just give me a couple.
I'm not sure who. I'm not doing the food trucks.
Oh, you're not.
So let's
Okay, Mike, let me go back to you.
Well, and the thing about it is, what happened is that because we are doing the barbecue cook-off,
Right.
I had Matt Davis take over all of the food vendors.
Okay.
So he's coordinated because here's the thing about it. For those of you that do barbecue, and Judith can attest to this one, it's rare when you get a barbecue competition that will also vend. If they're there to compete.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to do anything else. They're preparing one sample to the best of their ability for the judges to win. If they're going to go in and vend, in other words, they're going to sell a bunch of food, then they're doing bulk. And they're not specializing in one area to try to win a prize. So we had to kind of balance the scales on what we were going to do. Judith was instrumental in making sure we got sauced up on Friday night because that was a big deal. And I appreciate the help that she did on that one. The non-food vendors are actually going in building 3. Again, we're trying to accommodate folks that are to keep them comfortable. And we don't have a lot of vendors, and I get it. It's the 4th of July.
Sure it is. Yeah.
But we do have a few vendors that are coming in. Lazy Days Lemonade is going to be serving up lemonade right out front. We've got folks from Northside Baptist Church that's going to be doing free water, sunscreen, and mosquito repellent because it's Florida. And we're also going to have the American Red Cross out there with some information as well. So we've got several vendors inside the building, a few outside of the building, and then, of course, the food trucks coming in. We've got a variety of food trucks. Again, we don't know what they are because Matt's handling that one, and Matt's got it. Friday night, though, that's our big food night. I'm excited. I mean, Charlie is put forth. We've actually talked every time I go by dinner. We chat.
I just talked to him last week.
Exactly.
And then his dad was in today, so,
Yes.
they are prepared.
Yeah,
They're ready to throw down on Friday, like 100%.
And the vendors that are going to do the barbecue because Friday or Saturday night is our barbecue night. We're going to have barbecue trucks there, but they are not competing. And then we'll have a couple of those that are competing that choose to vend, and that's up to them. But everybody else, for the most part, they're there to compete, and then they're done. So we have tried to establish that because for those that may not be familiar, and this is no one's fault, so I want to clarify that because I think Pam Whittle and the folks at the TDC and the Chamber do an incredible job. But several years ago, we had a barbecue competition at the Strawberry Festival. And it was presumed by staff that if you're cooking barbecue, you're going to serve barbecue. Nope. None of them did. So all of a sudden there's a scramble. So they're out running around trying to get cheeseburgers and pizzas and get food delivered to the fairgrounds for the people from the Strawberry Festival that are hungry and there's nothing to eat. And that was a bit of a problem. So we nipped that in the bud early. And I told Matt when he was putting this together, and he's Matt, for those that Matt Davis from Blue Line Q, he's not competing. I asked him to be the coordinator because I just needed someone who was experienced in that aspect of it. And so he took the reins, he ran with it, and I was very adamant about the fact that if we're going to have a barbecue competition, I want someone else selling barbecue. The whole idea of people coming out for barbecue on Saturday night is because we're serving barbecue on Saturday night. Ergo, we have set that up now so that if you want a sample and from part of the judging and everything that's going on, that's going to be set up separately. But as far as coming out and just getting good barbecue,
Right.
we're going to have barbecue trucks there, and we're going to be serving up so that everyone gets a chance to enjoy it.
Wow, great call there. You remember this? 1, 2, 3. Hello, Alvy. So John Pro says, and free popsicles.
Oh, so yes, so let me... thank you, John. Let me tell you something.
That's why you have
Listen.
somebody backing you up.
Let me tell you something about John Probst. Everybody should have somebody following them around with a little notepad scribing, because I'll get an idea, or something like that one, and I'll say something. I'll call him. I'll send a message like that one, and then he'll follow up like 3 days later. Hey, did you do this? Did you do this? No, I didn't. Thank you. Did you? Okay. Or better yet, hey, I took care of this for you. Excellent. So, Fantastic Fire Brigade is going to be giving away free popsicles. John is going out, and I'm sorry, John. I don't remember. Forgive me. Like that. I know the number is going to be in the thousands of popsicles.
Jesus.
We are setting up a cooler, a freezer on the back of one of the fire engines, and we're going to be giving away popsicles
Until they're gone.
Until they're gone.
There you go.
it's going to be hot. So we wanted to do something so that the kid, again, something cool, and again, following the same moniker that I've done beforehand, it's free. It's sponsored by the Brigade. So we wanted to be able to enjoy popsicles.
I wanted to say something too. John, I haven't talked to you in a while. I see some of your posts, but thank you, my friend, for tuning in. Thank you for helping Michael out. I really miss talking with you. We've had some great conversations, and I hope to see you Thursday, Friday, possibly Saturday. Just depends on what's going on. But I really miss talking with you.
I want to warn you to make you feel bad.
Okay.
Sailor's walking.
Really?
John has this
Oh,
beautiful
man.
daughter.
Yes.
I don't know.
Big time. Yes.
Gorgeous, smart kid. Like, and she is walking and she's talking and she's.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome.
So is the family coming out? Do you know?
I don't think so, because John. I mean, to be honest, John's gonna be working so much. Even if the family shows up, he's gonna be like, "Hey," and then gone again. So I don't know. They may.
Okay. Maybe it'd be nice to see them.
And it's the same thing with my kids and my grandkids.
Yeah,
Are they gonna show
yes.
up? Maybe.
I'm
Am
sure
I gonna
they
see
will.
them? Probably not.
You do
Oh,
it
for about 2
Scott
seconds.
Money
Hello.
Yeah, that'd be
Scott
it.
brings the family and then puts them to work.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
that's
it worked
true.
out
You
great
could do
because
that.
And I will.
Scott's boys last year were instrumental in pulling everything up. Those
Absolutely.
kids showed up in mode, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they
And
were
that's the thing
great.
about. So that's another thing too. The fairgrounds. I was talking to Tony Arnett, who works at the fairgrounds, and the fields have been mowed. The picnic tables were delivered earlier this afternoon. I bought those 7-foot giant wooden spools that you use
Right.
for cable.
Yeah.
We're setting those up, so we got tables outside, so
Wow,
people can
okay.
have a place to put stuff down. Again, water slides are going to be set up. Petting zoo is going to be off to the side, undercover. We've tried to account for as much as we could, from shade and fans and hydration and everything that we could do to try to keep everybody safe and happy.
Good deal. Jennifer Evelyn's watching. Shirley Bagwell says, thankful for our community. Absolutely. Phil Jackson's watching. Justin Williams is watching. All right, Michael, I know I'm going to let you go here in just a couple of minutes,
Okay.
but I need you to do me a favor.
Okay.
First, before you do it, I want you to do the weather.
Old time's sake. I mean, come on.
Yes. I want you to do the weather. But before that,
Okay.
I want you to tell everybody that's watching here and that will be watching the replay how they can get a hold of just not you, but for the event, if they have any questions or any concerns.
Okay.
What's the go-to?
All right, so the go-to, of course, is our Facebook page at Stark Splash Bash, or Stark Spangled Splash Bash. We have details on the parade. We have details on every day of the event. And a special shout out to Dave Holland, who was able to pull up some of the graphics off of the page. We were using that so you could see it. Dave has been remarkable on everything that he does. So our Facebook page is our bread and butter for that one. However, if you have a question, you can email my team, and there's a bunch of us that read emails, which is kind of to a detriment because then I don't know what's been read, what hasn't, because I have to
Right.
go through and read every one.
Right.
But starksplashbash@gmail.com if you want to get a hold of us for just a question or something like that. If you have an urgent concern about the parade, which is right here, and that. So you see this one, and if you have questions about this that doesn't work, then you can actually go down. There you go. Down
there
to
you
the
go,
bottom.
right there. There it
Down
is.
to the bottom. If it's urgent, you can call the Splash Bash hotline. It is 904-290-1010. It's a Google Voice number. It allows us to be able to have several people answer the phone. And if you prefer to text it, you're more than welcome to text it as well. But you can reach out to any of us at starksplashbash@gmail.com, or you can give us a call for any pressing questions or concerns that you have at 904-290-1010. And again, check out our Facebook page for the latest and greatest. We update that thing probably 2 or 3 times a day as we make additions. I'm gonna be hitting it hard from the yard, probably doing some live starting tomorrow during our final prep work. We're gonna go live for the parade.
Good.
We're gonna be live every afternoon, giving you updates. I've got folks that's gonna be coming in here. We'll even be able to reconnect through the National Weather Service and give you spot forecasts on what's going on. So if you're interested in what's going on, you'll be able to literally go to our Facebook page, click on the National Weather Service spot forecast, and say like, oh, the weather in Stark for the next 3 hours is going to be X, and then at 6 hours it's going to be this, and we're going to be able to do spot forecasts through the National Weather Service office in Jacksonville, so that you can get the absolute latest schedule of events, plans, food, entertainment, and the forecast.
Wow, that's great. And Byron, thank you for plugging that for Michael and for us. But Mark Udy says, I'm going to let you plug this again.
Okay.
I'm in and out, he says. Where can I go for fireworks? Tell him, Mike.
Okay, so fireworks. there is a fireworks show that's expected to happen earlier in the evening on Thursday night. However, in Stark, the fireworks will be 9:45 p.m. on Thursday, with another round on Saturday. If I get another sponsor to step up, then we'll do them on Friday night. But right now, I've got fireworks on Thursday night at 9:45. Just so you know, the concert is expected to end at around 9:30. That's Matt Wilsey and the Gentleman Jukebox Band are playing until about 9:25, 9:30. At that time, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers will be conducting, along with the American Legion Post 56 and the junior ROTC program from Bradford High School, will be doing a military recognition and appreciation. We will then do the national anthem, at which point we'll fire the fireworks off at around 9:45, 9:46. On Saturday night, after Southbound 41 performs, they will then lead everybody in the national anthem, and we shoot the fireworks off at Saturday night at 9:45.
So there you go. There's where you can see your fireworks. We urge you to stay local this weekend. A lot of good things going on. This guy has done an amazing job, along with his team, to put this thing together. And David, this just doesn't get thrown into a pot and stirred up for stew.
No.
This is a year in the planning.
Yeah.
After this, he's going to do a debriefing, and guess what? Now it's next year, starting it again. And every year it starts that way. When you have a big event like this, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care who you got for staff and people, this is a year in the planning.
Yeah.
You've got to plan. And one thing I will say about Michael, he's a planner. You say John writes notes. You do too.
I do write a lot.
You do, and you make the graphs, different things, and that 28-page detail, that security detail. Michael did all that. He put all that together because he wants everything to be as best as possible. Yes, there's going to be some hiccups here and there, but there always is. But as best as possible for you, the viewer, and the people that's going to come out and enjoy this thing. That's what he wants to see. He wants to see a smile on your face. That's all. That's all he cares about. Once he sees that smile on your face, okay, he's going to the next smile and the next smile.
So here's what's interesting about this, since you brought up planning.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to start literally on Sunday afternoon. I'll start laying the groundwork. But what we've done is I've created a 5-year plan. Don't laugh. The first year was, gee, can we do this? The second year was, can we do it again? The third year, which is now, is, can we do it bigger? Next year will be, can we do it better? Because in year 5, that's going to be 2026.
Yeah.
That's our nation's 250th birthday.
Right.
This is the big one. This is the one that I've already started. I have put out. You want to see this man laugh? I'm going to say one thing, and he's going to crack a smile, and he's going to laugh because he knows I'm serious. We've already started laying the groundwork for logistics for 2025. I have already submitted a request for a band for 2026. Yes. I'm trying to bring sticks here.
I mean, honestly,
I don't think it'll happen because I don't think I got the money for it. But that would be a great Saturday night
But
concert on
now
July
look,
4th.
you have time. Look, you've got time. You can plan. I understand you're going to be planning. First, you're going to get through this one.
Yeah, let me get through this one.
Right. Then you're going to start planning for 2025. But as you're planning for 2025, and I know you, and I know your team, and I know everybody that's pretty much on it, y'all are going to be looking on how to raise that money for 2026, and you're going to have that in the account to get there.
Right. And the thing about it is that, and again,
That's
the other side note to this is that now that we've got a plan that we've established,
Right.
and everything that seems to be working well, we've built the framework. So now we're just going to kind of tweak it and add to it. So the amount of work that went into it the first year and the second year and this year, it won't be that big deal, which is important because we've got other events coming up. You know, we've got the Wild West shows in November and in January. We're looking at, we've got the fair, we've got the Strawberry Festival. I myself a little bit of history for those that don't know. Stark is the home of the Wani Junction, which is where the first cross-Florida railroad came through in 1893. So what better way to really acknowledge that than to have a railroad festival? So I want to do a railroad festival, probably in February, and give us a chance to bring in model railroads, set them up so the kids can see model railroading, and then that just kind of reinforces the history and the excitement about it. You know, then we're delving into different events, and yes, we are literally, and we say this jokingly, okay, folks, we are literally 367 days away from the next Splash Bash.
Right.
I mean,
yeah. See,
and
that's the way you have to look at it.
Yeah.
That is the way you have to look at it. If this is going to be, and we talked about this, if this is going to be an every year event,
yeah,
you have to already start looking ahead. Yeah. Even though this one hadn't even got here yet,
yes,
you've got to start looking ahead. So not only are you fixing to start putting out different things and doing different things and solidifying different things, your mind's already working.
Oh yeah,
next year. You got
to work a year or 2 years down the road, and that's the important part about this. Because here's the thing about it: we want to keep it as a 3-day event. Why? Because this year the 4th of July falls on Thursday, so I could do 4, 5, 6. Next year the 4th of July falls on a Friday, so I could do 3, 4, 5.
Right.
You know, the 5th day.
Right.
And there's Friday. Then on Saturday, then I can do another 3, 4, 5, and I might do 2, 3, 4, 5 because it's the 250th birthday, and it'll be on a Saturday. The following year, it's going to be on a Sunday, so I might do 2, 3, 4. You know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
You're right.
You know, and then by that, now we're hitting into a leap year, so now we got to jump ahead. But the idea is that we're going to do stuff that we get it established. You know, it's kind of like going to the fair every year. You know, it's like the Strawberry Festival. And then eventually, I want to bring back the Beast Feast or the Ham Jam. Excuse me, the Ham Jam. You know, I want to bring back Beast Feast. I want to bring back other events, stuff that we've done in the past. You know, that we could bring back again. I'll be honest with you. I would love to have a bike fest again. I think we could pull it off. I think that there's so much opportunity for growth. And one of the things that I'm really pushing for is the economic development aspect of it. Because if we bring in events, that brings in tourism. But also brings in people that go, man, this is a nice little town. Maybe I want to live here. Maybe I want, I interact with the football players who come back and see, they talk to the kids. Man, that's the kind of influence I would like to have for my son and daughter. Then we build up. Now all of a sudden, it becomes a synergistic effect that allows us to be able to make it bigger and better. Because I'm telling you, I'm trying to follow the Clay County playbook from 20 years ago. We can do this, maybe not to the scale that they're at now, but we can still build on it because we've got new construction going on. I know, I do the addresses for it every day. We've got new construction going in. We've got new commercial business coming in. We've got the Wawa that's finally picked up speed now that Palaca is open. We've got the new racetrack truck station that's going in. Zaxby's is going to be opening in a few weeks. We've got another truck stop in the works on the north end of the interchange. There is a lot of stuff that's going to be coming down the pipe. So if we lay the groundwork now to draw people in and they see what we have to offer, now we can turn around and parlay that into bigger things, better things, that puts heads in beds. Now we have the bed tax, and we're adding money to the economy through purchasing food at restaurants and staying in hotel rooms. And then we can use that money to parlays into adding to events. And it just keeps getting bigger and better. And that's where this team and the folks that I have with me allow this to happen.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. Before we get to the weather, let me just read off a couple. Let's see. Okay. Mitchell said, does David still need the leather mask? Yeah, unfortunately. Car Show Awards, Best of Show Top 10 for both classic and modern classes, Top 20 certificate awards, door prizes, and a 50-50 drawing is going to happen there too. So,
and Mitchell didn't mention it, so I'm going to throw it out there for him. So there's classic and there's modern. So all vehicles 1989 and older will be the vintage. 1990 newer considered modern. We're not differentiating as far as we're only doing X type of car, something like that. No, if you've got a 2012 Mustang, bring it. We want to see it. If you've got a 1947 Edsel, tow it in, so to speak. But you get So it's opened up, and I love what CC and Mitchell have put together because again, it's all inclusive. It doesn't have to be a certain style of car. It doesn't have to be just a Mopar. It doesn't have to be just a Mustang. It doesn't have to be just a Jeep. bring your vehicles and put them on display, and allows everyone to enjoy the variety.
Tammy Testone says she can't wait to see you guys. Thank you for what you do. They're to Byron, and I guess Mark's going to play something. Maybe they'll get together to play. Mark Goody says y'all will have to practice. Yeah. Said Lisa said, and again, I'm going to let Michael get into the weather. I know he'll talk about it. What about those folks who were affected by Hurricane Beryl and what we can expect from that? So I'll let you go ahead and get into the weather. Let me let you just go ahead and
Well,
do that.
that's fine. So why don't we do a little bit of the tropical update, shall we?
Yeah, that seems, yes.
So I haven't looked at the 5 p.m. update. I will tell you that Hurricane Beryl went through a eye wall regeneration yesterday after absolutely devastating the island of Curacao. Still getting reports in on that one. It did strike the island as a Cat 4 hurricane with winds of about 130 to 135 miles per hour. It weakened over time. It will continue to weaken. I think it's going to build back up and then go back down again by the time it hits the Bay of Campeche and the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. My concern, Galveston. I think the storm's going to have a little bit of a hookup. It's going to go to the north. I think Texas is going to get you're probably going to get hurricane conditions on the coastline. I think Texas is going to get a decent amount of rain. Florida, we're in the clear. I'm not worried about that at all. Hurricane Chris formed in the Bay of Campeche, moved inland as a tropical depression. Nothing to it. Don't worry about that one. There is an area of disturbed weather further out in the Atlantic that is following on the heels of Beryl. I think that it will develop, but it will develop slowly because Hurricane Beryl churned up a lot of ocean water. So while the temperatures were really warm, the water has cooled because of the upward churning of the water. Of course, Austin knows a lot more about that, and he'll have that in his forecast if you follow Austin's weather service on Facebook. But for the tropical conditions, I don't think we have anything to worry about. Our conditions here locally, the concern is going to be the heat. So we're looking at high temperatures this week in the upper 90s, a heat index over 100. I don't believe it's going to be as hot as it was last year. The heat dome that sat over us last year with clear skies and oppressive heat, we're not going to be that thing. My biggest concern, though, aside from the heat, is the afternoon thunderstorms. However, the greatest chance of rain is going to be tomorrow and Sunday, with decreasing chances of rain Thursday going into Friday and Saturday. So I'm cautiously optimistic that while we may get a rumble of thunder, we will be able to hopefully dodge the majority of it. And if we do have thunderstorms that come in here, in accordance with our plan, he'll have a script that will warn you if there's any impending severe weather. We'll pull people into the sheltered areas of Building 3 and the barns, make sure that the storm passes, and then we'll get right back out there and continue having fun. That's kind of my view on it like that. If you got some graphics for the weather, we can go ahead and tackle that as well. So there you go. So you can see what we're talking about. Temperatures, again, Thursday is saying that we're looking at a 6% chance of rain. I think that's a little aggressive, but I think that's pretty close to accurate. But tomorrow, better chance of rain. Sunday, better chance of rain, 70 to 80%. But plan accordingly. So that's going to allow us to be able to hopefully get to where we are dealing with conditions that will pass quickly and give us an opportunity to really enjoy the 3 days.
All right. Thank you, Michael, for that weather report. Hey, it felt good to do that, didn't it?
I do.
Did it? I see a smile on your face.
It was good to do.
All right.
Yeah,
All right. Last minute thoughts from you, and then I'll let Michael get his last minute thoughts, and then I'm going to let y'all guys go, and then I'm going to close the show out. Got anything that you want to say in particular about Splash Bash or anything?
I'm really excited to see how things are going to go down this year with it being in the evenings. Like, honestly, as somebody who's done it during the day the past 2 years, the heat is excruciating, to say the least. And that was a lot of the problems that we had last year, was people dealing with the heat and the effects of it. So with the evening schedule this year, I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to an evening car show.
Yes.
There's not a lot of them. Like, I don't know why.
No, there isn't.
As somebody that frequents shows, they're always in the day, and the heat just, it holds a lot of people back. And so I think this being in the evening, we're going to have a really nice turnout. So
Good deal.
that, and I need people to bring their appetites on Thursday, because we have plenty of apple pie and plenty of watermelon.
Oh,
and
boy.
I want to see who's going to eat it the quickest. So.
There you go.
All right. Michael, last push.
I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the community for supporting this endeavor. I want to say thank you to my team, who without them this would never happen. A shout out to some amazing sponsors who stepped in at the last minute.
Yeah,
I was. Those that know me know that I was not a happy camper about a week ago, to the tune of like thousands of dollars coming out of my pocket if something didn't happen quickly. And then, low in the distance, a glow that calls itself Schuster, Saban, and Estevez came up and stepped
Good.
up with an entertainment sponsorship package. So they're sponsoring the bands and they're sponsoring the stage, and that took a lot of load off of the financial impact and burden that we were facing. We've also got Five Star Credit Union that made a donation. We've got Capital City Bank that made a donation. We've got Mosley Tire that made a donation. Foster Heating and Air made a donation. Revels is making a donation, and Fantastic, of course, providing some support as well. So we've got folks that have stepped up to the plate and have really helped us out. And so for that, above anything else, thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for allowing me to serve you and serve this community to put together an event. And with your support and your contributions and sponsorships, we will see it through to the end. Secondly, go to the fairgrounds, have a great time. We want this to be something that you enjoy. And if you see something that you either would love to see in the future or something that you didn't like, hey, that email address, use it. Email me. If I don't answer the phone or my team doesn't answer the phone, leave a message. We'll call you back. We're good at that. I want to, we should be constantly improving what we do. Dave's heard me say this beforehand, and I deal with customer service a lot. You deal with customer service. You deal with customer service. Dave does with Harry Business. And my favorite tagline of all time is, I will look you in the eye and tell you, I do not like satisfied customers. I don't. Because there's three types of customers. There's dissatisfied, which means they had an expectation, you failed to meet it.
Right.
A satisfied customer is they had an expectation and you met it. Nothing more, nothing less. But then you have impressed customers. The ones that have an expectation, you exceeded their expectations. You knock it out of the park. That's what I want. I want folks to come to this event and go, man, this was better than I expected. That means that we're doing our job. And if there's something that you don't like about it, let me know. We can make changes, get everything ready for next year, and continue to work it to where it continues to get bigger and better every year. And so for that, that's my big push. Come out, have a good time, and if there's something that I or my team can do for you, let us know. We are happy to serve you.
Start Splash Bash. Don't miss it. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Michael, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We'll
Appreciate
be
you.
talking.
Absolutely.
Love you as always. Hey,
you guys.
yeah.
Appreciate
So
that.
I'm going to get ready to close down the show. I do want to bring up a couple of things here really quick. Byron wanted me to hit, and I'll wait to get into it when he's here. But that debate last week was an absolute debacle. I can sit here and so can you, and so could you, so could Dave. We could nitpick this thing to death. I want to wait till Byron gets here. I'm going to be honest with you guys, though. I know that President Biden's done a lot of things that we particularly don't like. But as an elderly statesman as he is, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel sorry for him.
It is.
I feel sorry for him. And I feel sorry that his family ain't stepped in and said, hey, look, this is, I hate to use the word, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It's elder abuse.
It's elder abuse. It's elder abuse.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
And again, I don't like a lot of the things that he's done. But as a human being and as an elderly statesman, an elderly person, like she said, man, that's wrong, man. His family, somebody really close in his party needs to talk to him and say, hey, look, Joe, I think it's about time. I do. And again, you know, we can talk about the things that he's done and that he hasn't done, but as a person, as a family man, as he says he is, I just can't believe that his son and his wife and his would just let him go out there and do that. Now, did they have that talk with him? I don't know. Maybe they did.
Sure they did.
And maybe he's saying, no, I don't want to give it up.
Well, he's, you
And
know,
I think that's exactly what it is.
his position is he's been in that position for 50 years?
Well,
It's been politics.
Yeah.
but that
Yeah,
long.
yeah, you
Here-
can't just give that up.
and here's my take on it, and I need to get going because I got my phone blowing up again. let me leave you. I'll leave you with
All
this
right.
thought, like this one.
Good thought.
2 years ago, I finally stepped away from being a fireman. It was 38 years I fought fire. I started as a teenager, back when you could get away with that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
I know where you're fixing to go with this. It's hard, wasn't it?
It was hard.
Of course it's
I
hard.
struggled with it. I struggled because I felt like there was so much more I could still do. And I was surrounded by people that were like, it was just the opposite. They weren't enabling me. There was people that were saying, and this is not a derogatory thing. They were looking out for me.
Yes.
My wife was like, look, I love you, but you have got to quit. Because the last fire I went to, from the incident commander all the way into the tailboard fireman, who I was inside the burning building with, were younger than my kids. I was the old man, and I mean old man.
I know how that feels.
And it's and so for a while I struggled with the idea. I even bantered the idea around as late as last week when I was talking to a chief officer in a fire department. He's like, you could come back and drive the truck, and I'm like, holy crap, this would be so great. But it's hard to step away from something like this one. And when you have others that are enabling you and supporting you and do it, not whether it's positive, important support or whatever, I get it. You don't want to walk away from this unless you absolutely have
It's
to.
hard. It's hard.
It is hard,
It's
and
hard.
I think that's part of it. I don't think in his mind that he sees himself the way that the public sees him. And for that, I got to give a little bit of credit that he still wants to fulfill a role. On the other side of the coin, I don't want to be the one having to deal for the collateral damage issues
Yes.
that come from making that decision. Sometimes you gotta walk away. While I kind of berated myself for it because I felt I still had something to contribute, I walked away. The good news is that I found something that I feel passionate about and that I still can contribute.
Right.
Which is the reason why we're doing what we're doing this weekend. But in the role of a politician, especially one that's been, like Dave said, for 50 years, and with all due respect, he can't do anything else.
No.
He has no concept of what it's like in the real world. He's been in Washington, D.C. for half a century. He can't do anything else. This is all he's ever known. So I understand the position of wanting to keep it even though he shouldn't. I understand the family going, look, you know what? This is all he does. What would happen to him if he doesn't? We want to support him. This is what he desires. This is what we want to do. And the family's pushing the issue to support him. I get it. I totally understand it. However, I think there comes a point when tough love needs to take effect.
Look, all of us that's got eyes see that this man has got the start of dementia. If it ain't already,
I think it's pretty well
It's
progressed.
pretty well progressed.
Yeah.
He's got dementia, and to put him out there as the leader of the Democratic Party, which I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not going to ask. I know where y'all lay. I know where y'all stand.
Absolutely.
I know where you stand. If I was the Democratic Party, I would be saying, "Is this the best that we have?"
And the problem is,
This is the best we have.
is that the second is no better.
No.
And they know that.
They know it. Mm-hmm.
So what do? You know?
I've heard people say that Kennedy would have done better at a debate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad that you brought that up.
Listen, I love him. Like, it would have been comical at least. I mean, not in the way that it was comical with Biden up there, because it was there, but it was not good comical. It was,
Yeah.
he wasn't cracking jokes. It was comical because there was so much confusion and it was just written all over the man's face.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say, before you have to go, I do want to say this. I was not impressed with Trump either.
No. And
I've
He
seen you
really
look.
refrained. He held back, I felt like.
he held back, but he was, and again, same concept. He was trying to take advantage of really pushing the issue. I would, if there was one thing that if I could have him for 2-minute conversation and go, look, you don't need to add on to talking about your opponent. We all know it. You give us the facts. You tell us
Thank
what
you.
is going to happen when you become the president, and let's roll with this and make America great again, or however you want to. I don't care. Don't badger and go after your opponent. We've all seen it. We all know it. We don't. That's not in my
Tired
world. That's
of it.
yeah. In my world, I want you to tell me how you're going to put us back where we were 5 years ago.
Right.
Before COVID, when things were going so well, what are you going to do to fix and get us back on that track? That's what I want to hear, and that's what I think the Americans want to hear.
And that's exactly right, and I fully agree. I thought that Biden, even though he didn't know what the hell he was doing, was feeding into Trump, and Trump was feeding into he baited
Yeah,
him.
he baited
He was
him.
baiting him to do that. I thought, in particular, and we'll get into this more as Byron comes on the show and we do another show. I thought that when Biden called him out about the mistress, Stormy Daniels, we all know, and some of the indictments that were going on against him, I thought he let that pass, and I thought he should have at that point addressed each and every one of those. You brought it up, okay, let me address that. Hey, first and foremost, the Stormy Daniels thing, whether he did or didn't, you know, you can call him a lot, whatever, that didn't even happen in the White House. That was pre-White
Yeah,
House
that's
stuff.
pre-White House.
That's pre-White House
And
stuff.
they're grasping.
And they're grasping at
that's the problem.
straws.
They are.
Yeah.
They see the writing on the wall, so they're trying to grasp at whatever they can get.
Yeah.
Well, the Hunter Biden thing came up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, yeah.
So on both sides,
Both
they
sides,
were
yes.
throwing some of that stuff at each other.
That's true.
But I agree with what
get 'em
Michael
going.
said, and what Judah said is he should have just answered the questions directly. Whatever the moderators was asking him, he shouldn't have went back and
Absolutely.
baited into Joe Biden's bull.
That's right.
Answer the question, hey, what are you going to do about the economy? What are you going to do about the border? Answer that question.
Yeah.
Like Michael said, I want to know the answer.
I just want that's it.
You want to know the answer. What you going to do? I don't care what you think about him. I don't care that he's trying to bait you. Be the bigger man. And I think votes that were swaying, that are on the fence line,
That's what would have swayed him over. I guarantee
exactly.
it.
I think they're still riding the fence, and I don't think he's swayed a lot. I mean, he may have swayed some, but I don't think he's
Talking
swayed.
about Trump.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Now, with the second debate coming,
yes.
I think that if he stays on task, he'll win by he'll clean house. But he's got to, as much as he hates to do this, he's got to step down from being showmanship and be the leader.
Yeah, I agree.
Call the shots, get it done, and let's move on.
Well, it's got the whole country in a crazy mess. People
is.
just don't know what to say, and a lot of people are just rude about what they say.
Oh, absolutely.
They don't care what they say.
Yeah, there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there, and it's unfortunate because there was a time that if I wanted to insult this man, he would turn around and it'd be one quick punch in the mouth, and that would solve that problem.
Why can't we
Yeah.
bring that back? Like honestly,
Because
like
that-
it would.
well, I think
because-
this is
because
easy.
taking care of a lot of you know,
Absolutely.
the outspeaking stuff
But
like that.
but when you hide behind a keyboard, you hide behind your phone, and now that you can do it anonymously and trash people and ideals and concepts, all you're doing is you're feeding into
Stirring the pot.
You're stirring the pot, and I don't care if you and I want to have a debate. I don't care if you and I want to have a debate. If you're not going to be civil about it, I can't stop you. But here's my problem with that. Every preteen, 10-year-old, 8-year-old has a phone, and a lot of them are on social media, and they can read this. And if they're reading it, I know I'm coming. Now we are breeding this divisive and in some cases absolute hate into children over political ideals that we should be able to have a polite, even if it's a polite or civil discourse, as opposed to the stuff. Yeah, I mean, in the past, if you and I didn't agree about it, we'd walk around behind the shed and we'd take care of it.
Take care of it behind the
We
woodshed.
cannot, but we
Yeah.
can't do that now.
Well, that brings something up that happened to me today, if I don't mind.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're talking about
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before-
Let me-
political opinions.
Right.
Well, one guy came in the shop, and he started into his political opinion, and the one thing that he touched on is the black people getting $10,000. I don't know about that. I haven't heard anything about that. Where's he even getting that at, Is he really educating himself or just talking out of his head?
Yeah. No, that's it.
But he went further, sat down, and looked at this young lady right next to him and said, I don't know if you're married to one, living with one, or have kids with one. They're not worth it.
This is what he just, well, tell him, Dave, go further with the story. Do you want to go further with what you did, or you want to leave it at that? Because here you'll leave it at that? Okay. So anyway, what just Michael just said, hatred, it's preached everywhere.
Yeah.
It's preached everywhere. And you see it on social media. You hear it from parents.
Yeah.
The person, by the way, how 40, 50 years old?
Yeah.
A 50-year-old man is saying this garbage.
Yeah.
Really?
Very racist. Very racist. And racism is just so bad out there.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Even
the
today.
prevalence is has risen its ugly head, and I hate to say that, but it is. And I think what's happened is that I think we've lost the civility because we hide behind these.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. So and to bring it back here as my final thought is, what's the best way to combat civility and anonymity and hatred is, why don't we all just get together and have fun and realize that we're all really not that different,
Yeah.
and just enjoy ourselves. And if you really want to do that, join me on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
There you go. All right. I like that. That's good.
I gotta go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for letting me on the
Yeah,
show.
no,
I will
100%.
give you a call tomorrow because I got some more stuff I need to coordinate with the layout, and we'll talk.
Yes,
Something
and we
like
gotta
that.
go
Oh,
pick
I
up
need to
pies.
We gotta pick up pies. Yes.
Pies.
The parade, where you want me at?
Oh yes, the
With
parade.
the Star
You can
Wars.
ride with
With
yes,
the Star Wars.
yes.
If you ain't
Well,
got
no,
a spot,
Michael's got a little job for me.
Yeah.
Michael's got a little job for me.
I'll get in the Jeep and load you
And
up.
for those that are tuning in, and I've got to go because I got like 8 messages waiting on me. For those of you that are interested in parade information, if you're signed up to be in the parade,
Right.
so everybody from David, Dottie Hanson, Will Hartley, Kendrick, all of you, I will have the final information out tonight. You can reach out to me on the email that you see on the screen at starksplashbash@gmail.com, or give me a call at 904-290-1010. If I do not answer, it's because I'm talking to 5 other people at the same time. I will get back to you.
Yeah,
And we'll get back to you. But we'll have final assignments. I'll write that up tonight. We'll get the word out to everybody. Line up for the parade is between 7 and 8 a.m. Everybody must be in position by 8:15. No exceptions. And we step off at 9 with the flyover, the military flyover at 9 a.m. Parade route, again, you'll find it on our Facebook page. Have any questions about that, let me know. And I look forward to seeing everybody Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Good night, you. Good night, you. Good night, you. Good night, you. You guys have a great time. We'll see you this weekend. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, thanks, Michael. Appreciate it.
Right.
That's Michael Heater, Stark Splash Bash, coming your way Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Of course, me and you'll be a big part of that.
Oh, yeah.
This is On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers, right along with Judith Young. She's with me today because Byron Backwell is at home, but he's been chiming in on certain things. Mr. Dave Holland, our producer and director. Dave, I want to go back to, before I read some of these comments, I want to go back to what you said. I've known you for a very long time.
Yes, sir.
Very long time. I consider you one of my brothers. About
Absolutely.
as close as we can be as brothers. And let me say something about what you said. I've seen you upset at times.
Not too many.
No, I could count them on my hand, if less than that. But this right here has really perturbed you. This is, I think, one of the most that I've seen where you were just very mad, you were like, oh man, yeah, and I know it bothered. We talked about a little bit about it before the show started. And that kind of stuff, and I agree with you, should not be tolerated anywhere.
Especially in a place of business.
Yeah.
Your business, by the way, and your family's business.
And that young lady was probably no more than maybe 27 years old.
How do you think she felt when that guy said that? How is she supposed to answer that? Even if she was married to a black man and has mixed kids, so what?
Well,
That's her choice.
She's a white girl, and after he said that, we found out that she is with a black man.
So what does he just take?
That's
Why does
no
it matter?
problem.
Right.
But the fact that he said what he said to her is what really got under my skin.
Because what you said, Michael backed it up, she backed it up, Byron backed. It's a racial statement. I don't care how you slice it and dice it. No pun intended, slice and dice. Which is now Barnyard Diner, by the way. Go visit Chris and Lottie. Yeah, there you go. Give him a plug there.
Yeah.
No matter how you cut this up, it's a racial slur. That's a racist statement. He come out of the blue and said that.
Absolutely.
Right out of the blue.
Absolutely.
This was not even a debate between that girl and him, or me and him, you and him, you and him. This was just straight out of the blue.
This was his mind, and he didn't care what anybody else thought.
It is 2024. Like, why is, like, I can't imagine being one of those people that lives in this day and age where race just encompasses everything about your personality and your life. Like, I'm sorry, it's in my eyes, and I know other people want it, but it's one of those things that's been long off the table. Like, that's just not a relevant subject anymore. Like, you want to talk about politics and the economy and everything else. There are so many more pressing issues that this nation is facing. Why is race still one of them?
And don't get me wrong, I wasn't. This gentleman in question has been a customer of mine for years.
See, and that is even...
For years. And for him to come in at that time and start sharing his political views and his racist remarks with his, I don't know how you want to take this, but he gets a haircut real close, almost like a skinhead close.
Just say it. Hey, look.
So he struck me as a racist skinhead.
Okay, yeah, that's your opinion.
And he has that personality. I've always seen it, but he hasn't brought it out like he did today.
Have that personality, but you don't have to let your personality come out your mouth like that.
Some people don't care.
And that,
See,
that goes back to hiding behind this.
Yeah.
So many people do not care no more. They do not think about other people's feelings.
Since we're on the subject, since this is a sad moment because this particular individual works for the city.
Really?
Works for the city. And,
See?
You know, when you're working for the city and you, whether you're on the job or not, and you act that way out public, that reflects back to the city.
It reflects back to your boss, who is what? The city manager, I would assume.
Yeah.
Right? That's who runs the city.
The city manager.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
There needs to be accountability. I mean,
Exactly.
I know,
That's
even
what
I'm
it
off
needs
the
to
clock
be.
right now, but I know anything that I do in public comes back on my business. And who
Sure
I
it
work
does.
for, even though I don't own the place, like
Right.
I still represent them and what my company stands for, whether I'm at work or whether I'm not.
Well,
And I can't imagine that somebody in
the person that hires him, if they continue to hire racist skinheads and put them in
That would
all
be good for the community.
work for the city, well, they've lost my vote.
And I want to back it up a little bit more, and I'm glad we're sort of on this subject. I want to back that up a little bit, see if y'all agree with me. To me, this guy's been getting his hair cut for what, 20 years?
Yeah,
More?
at least. So.
And you know, you maybe sensed it a little bit. Now he's actually come out and said it today, as you pointed out. You know what that tells me about that guy? He didn't care about your business, ever.
Nope.
Ever, even though he never said it. He didn't care about you, your business. He didn't care about your employees. He didn't care about anybody that was sitting in that, your customers that was waiting to get their haircut. He didn't care about nothing. Like you said, he wanted to put his opinion out there, and he thought it's cute to do or whatever, or he thought it was just good to do, and no recourse. Why? Because nobody, by the way, your beautiful daughter-in-law handled that well, I thought, what you had told me though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But nobody come back at this guy, and I'm glad. Well, I wish you would have been here because you already told me what you would have done. You already told me what you would have done. But I thought your daughter-in-law, Liz, handled that very well and very properly.
Yeah, she did.
For what she knew. But that guy right there, David, I don't know about you. It's not my business. It's not, I don't work for Rebels either. But that right there, he would not be cutting back at my place and getting a haircut again. He has refused. You have the right to refuse service to anybody. You are a privately owned company.
Yeah.
This is your dream. This is what you made. This is what America's all about, is about the private business sector.
Yeah.
But you have a right as a business owner to refuse service to anybody. You don't believe in that. I already know where your heart is. She don't believe in it. Anybody that's affiliated with this show or watches this show don't believe in it. And that is your prerogative to kick his tail the next time he comes in here and say, sir, you can do it professionally. We refuse to give you a haircut.
Yeah.
Why don't you go down the road to the establishment down there and see if they'd like to give you a haircut?
Well, you're being more nice than I would be, but that's exactly how it ended.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. I put a little tack to that. I did. I know we thought that, and I did. I put a little tack to that.
That's okay.
That's just good. You knew where I was going with this. Because that right there, I'm going to be honest.
Unacceptable. Like, and how would anybody expect to get up and go into work that morning and think that that's going to be a situation that you're going to have to deal with? Like, who's prepared for that? So the way that you handled it, bravo to you. I mean, I always wonder what would happen with me in my mouth and put under pressure, but
again, you know, what are you, Irish? Scott, you're Irish. You got
Irish,
that little
Italian,
Irish.
yeah.
You got that little Irish
Little
Italian
bit
thing, and I
Italian.
got that Spanish blood in me that just boils every once in a while.
My front desk girl called me. She was distraught because
Upset?
she's never experienced
No.
it. And how do you,
Imagine.
if you've never experienced it, how do you handle it? So
just blatant racism
she
like that is
just
not something
moved
most
him
people-
ahead of everybody, a quick buzz on the haircut and out the door.
See, and you know what? In his mind, here's the funny part. In his mind, he wins. Why?
Exactly.
Because he put him in front of the line. Oh, I win. And that's the way he thinks. See,
Yeah.
he said what he wanted to say, and he still got the service that he wanted. As a matter of fact, above and beyond the service, because she put him at the front of the line so she can get his haircut done and get him the hell out of your establishment.
Well, his last cut with Harry Business was a memorable one.
I hope so.
He thinks that it's a win, but he doesn't realize.
But you know what, David? And here's the unless he's watching.
He's going to look at it
Unless-
as though I'm the bad guy.
Hey, unless he's watching this show, unless this person's watching this show, you know what he thinks? Everything's hunky-dory.
No, you can't.
No, not David. Him.
No, I know. I can
He's going to
imagine
come
the
in.
red eyes.
How often does he get his haircut, Dave? Just knowing the history.
Probably every couple weeks.
Every couple of weeks, a month.
Once a month or so.
Once a month. He's going to come back next month in August and go, hey, I'm looking for a haircut. Your people is going to say, not at this establishment, even if you're not here. Not at this establishment, you're not. You've already put it known. You've already made it known. And you know what? Good for you. I'm proud of you and your people for standing up to that, because we need more people like that to stand up to that.
Yeah.
And maybe some of this racism, racial tensions that we have going on may go away when you don't get served. I wish restaurants would do it. I wish bars would do it. I wish Revels would do it. I wish a lot of people would do it, because I'm telling you, when you don't get service, guess what? Then you start thinking, well, I've been turned down at this restaurant, been turned down at this blue place, been turned down for a haircut. You start adding all that up.
Maybe there's
well,
something wrong.
Maybe there's a
What am I
problem.
doing wrong?
Hey, maybe there's a problem. You know, you go, maybe there's a problem. I wonder what it is. Well, let me go back. Well, I told this girl over here, she's married to a black man, and black people ain't no good. You get $10,000 a month, they don't deserve it. You start putting all that stuff and adding all that stuff up together, and guess what? Your eyes maybe finally wake up. I'm not saying it will. Maybe your eyes wake up and your mind opens up, and boom, I'm the problem.
I don't know what the word is, but those kind of people don't say, oh, I'm sorry, it was my fault.
Yeah,
No, absolutely
because
not.
they can't comprehend that they were in the wrong. That's
Right.
why.
Unless he just had a total change of heart, you're not getting an apology.
No.
You know that, right? No, that's not going to happen. You would have to have an immediate, David, change of heart right away for you to get an apology, and it's not coming.
And here's the thing. Working in the city, you go and do your job to a resident, and something happens. That falls back on the city.
Well, I agree.
He could be a lawsuit
Waiting to happen. Yep, I was just getting ready to say.
Yes.
yeah.
Listen, discrimination and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's a government agency. Yeah, it's the little city of Stark, but at the end of the day, it's still a government agency, and they are the governing power behind everything that happens in city limits.
You're right.
Like-
Hey, it's 9:02 Eastern time. We've been going at it, and we can still go at it. No, that's okay. Look. So let me go back to a couple of the comments here. Peddle his influence in China, Russia, and Ukraine. Talking about Biden. Agree, Byron, for sure. The Democrat Party, power hungry. Yes. Deanna Williams, thank you for watching. Trump should have never fallen into that trap. Byron said, I agree. Kim Lee's watching. Hello, Kim. Shirley, you just never want to let someone you love embarrass themselves. I agree. Byron said it was a poor performance all the way around, which we said. The simple comment should have been, ask Jill.
I agree.
I agree.
Yes.
Erin Jackson, I used to work with Erin. Do you know Erin? Reddish-haired girl. But yeah, Erin, very nice girl. She used to live in Lake Butter. I'm not sure where she lives at now. Don't think he's capable of making the decisions to debate. No, I agree, Shirley. Matt Peterson said, remember the gas prices 4 years ago? Absolutely, I do. Oh, absolutely, I do. They were what, $1.99? Something. They was getting to that point.
for
Before the COVID, pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID was
Yeah.
$1.89.
Yeah, I knew it was dollar somewhere in there. Do you know why that was? Because Trump's a smart man. He's a businessman. Okay, yes, I don't like some of the things that he does on this. I don't like some of the things he says. But one thing he can do, he can run this country. He can run it efficiently. And just because you hate somebody, you don't want to vote for somebody, that's a wrong reason. You're a red-blooded American that lives in this great country. If you don't want to have a great economy and see more money in your pocket, see more work, that you don't have to worry about getting laid off, then hey, you should vote for Trump. If not, then guess what? To me, you're not an American. Because most red-blooded Americans, but see, here's the funny thing. Oh yeah, I want that, and I want to eat my cake and have and eat it too.
The problem.
That's the problem. Oh yeah, I love what Trump did. I want that, but I want these liberal ideas also. You can't have both. It doesn't work like that. Byron will sit here and tell you. All right, here we go. Let's see. There's no such thing as civil discourse. Byron, I fully agree. Melissa Cribs is watching. How about that? Hey, Melissa, I hope you heard about Splash Bash. The issue is used to cause this. There's no way to pay reparations, nor should we. Yeah, that part, she said. I actually have been in a situation at work in the past where I held my tongue and addressed it with my superiors in a knowledgeable, intelligent way. Wish Trump had done that. Yep. Matthew Davis is watching. He was just talking about Matthew Davis, wasn't he? Hey, Matt, how you doing? I hope you're ready for Splash Bash. You're going to be working, my brother. Racism is clearly defined. Reparations is something that if you're against can be used to define you as a racist. That is not necessarily true. Not defending this guy, what he did was nonsense. Go away is the correct way to handle that. Yep, he sort of did. You shouldn't care, Dave. Well, I don't know what that means.
I'm a customer person.
Mm-hmm.
My customers mean everything
I wanna
to
know
me
the
and my business.
See, it's the same
They
thing
don't
for us.
deserve to be treated that way.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
Byron, I'll agree with you in a way, but Dave should care. Dave should care. This is his establishment. This is his business. I mean, if nothing was done, there's no recourse done, and there's 14 people sitting there waiting to get a haircut, and nothing is really being done. You know what those 14 people are going to do? They're going to walk out. You know why? Because most of them aren't racist. Really? This happens in this establishment? See you later.
Who's gonna stick it out when they're that uncomfortable?
Right, who's going to
It
go?
doesn't feel like a safe environment for people of any type of ethnic background to come in here if you've got to face that.
Well, I got 8 chairs in the reception area, and they were all full.
When he made this comment, you're lucky that nobody left. Especially after he got put up front, that some of your people didn't go.
They
Not
were
just
all
by
probably, good, get
Yeah.
rid of it.
and maybe, and that's what I'm hoping because nobody left, right? Everybody got their hair cut, right? Good. But some of them could have said, "Really, really,
No.
you're doing that?"
If
So what?
somebody would have
If
stood
somebody
up
would have
to him,
recorded it,
yeah.
imagine that way, because everybody's so quick to pull out their cell phone camera these days.
Oh, I got you,
Can
B.
you
I got
imagine
you.
that
I
ending
got
up
you.
on one of the word of mouth pages?
Well, that's
Stark
one
city
thing.
government getting
one
that
thing
turned
I'm
over
going
to
to say
them?
to my front desk. Something like that, I'll immediately start your video.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
Sometimes that's the only way you have to not only cover yourself, but really leave no doubt on the table because you see firsthand what's happening. There's no misconception. There's no somebody, he said, she said type thing. It's right there, plain as day, in recording. And there's no arguing about that. It is what it is.
I like videotaping. If somebody gives me the opportunity to
It
do
doesn't
that,
lie, does it?
No.
it
That's
doesn't
one thing,
lie,
it doesn't
and I
lie.
don't have a problem pulling it out and putting it in your face.
Yeah, because it doesn't lie. This is what you said. This is what you did. This is your actions. And I see where Byron was going with this. So Byron, I'm sorry, buddy. I thought I misunderstood what you said. Melissa said, Amberly Linfield is watching. Melissa says she won't be there. Did you know that?
I don't know. She might have a
Oh, you know what, too? She still may be a little under the weather, too.
This is true.
Yeah, I haven't talked to her, so. He says, not what I meant. He shouldn't care about canning the guy. That's
I don't
choice.
care about cannoning.
Okay,
As
so
a
yeah.
matter of fact, it felt good to get somebody like that
Yeah.
out of my world.
I don't blame you there. I mean, at the end of the day, I look at it like that's probably the best thing you could have done for your business because your people now see that you're not going to stand back and tolerate that.
It's a small community. He lives next door to a friend of mine. He knows it. He's had problems with her dog. The dogs have not been out, but he went ahead and called the dog pound today on her.
Oh, and as somebody who works for the city, they can probably make some stuff happen.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, it was made up because he did not see any dogs. He just, apparently his boss had a conversation with him.
Cassidy,
some of that
the
good
ones
old
who
boy
matter
system.
do. We remember all of what God's people have been through. I agree, Byron. Becky Knights is watching as well. Let me say this. This is only one of the issues. I'm glad you brought that up because we said we were going to talk about this.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you did. I was hoping you didn't forget because I wanted you to bring that up. This is just one of the many issues that our country and our people are facing today. And it's like Judith said, this is 2024, getting ready to go 2025. We shouldn't be having this. Is there always going to be racism, racial tension? Yes.
Yeah, what's that that's going on at the colleges and
Well,
I think a lot
yeah,
of it
the
is
racism and
to create that division amongst the people.
People.
Because first of all, we'll never unite and do anything about what our government is
No.
doing to us as long as there is division. And right now, racially motivated stuff is the way to do it. They're driving a stake in between us, but
yeah.
the majority of the people at the end of the day are just like, race does not factor into their mind at all because
The majority of the people don't even really think about that.
exactly.
But let me tell you, when we will unite, you let somebody invade us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just like the 9/11 thing.
yeah.
All that coming together, it lasted for what? Half a year or whatever,
It's-
and then it started dividing up again. It takes something like that for the nation to come together.
Yeah.
If Japan or China or North Korea or Russia wanted to invade us,
Yeah.
do you think that, hey, first and foremost, a black person, a white person, it doesn't matter. You're people here. You're an American citizen.
Yeah,
and you
we
should
all
be.
would come together.
We'd all would come together to fight that enemy. What's that old saying? You can fight amongst yourselves, but don't let nobody infiltrate that particular deal, because guess what? Then the two that are fighting become one.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be fighting you, and it's going to take something like that to do that. I agree with what Judith said, but something like that is the only way that that division that she was talking about will unite.
I
Is
gotta
it something
tell
like
ya.
that?
So years ago, somebody asked me, what was my most patriotic memory, and I told them it was September 12th, the day after 9/11.
Yeah.
Now, as horrible as that sounds, like how is that one of your most?
I know what
Because
you're
this entire country was the most united I've ever seen in my entire
Absolutely.
life, and to this day, that I can remember. Where everywhere you turned, there was a flag. Everywhere. Everybody was a patriot on September 12th.
And it didn't matter what color you were,
It
was
did
it?
not
You know,
matter. The
no.
entire country was united, and I've never seen, and it was a horrible event. Thousands of people lost their lives, and many more thousands of people ended up losing their lives in what transpired afterwards. But the unity and the patriotism and nothing else like it. And there's not been another event in history that has ever brought us together. And honestly, we need a lot more of that in this country now. We need to just put everything aside like we did on then. Because then we didn't care. We didn't care what color you were from or what
No.
country you came from or any of that. It was, we're Americans now, and somebody has hurt us, and it's time to take
It's
care
time
of
to
it.
take care of our own, and that's exactly right. D.A. Dennis Cruz, who Shirley says, just think about when the division started back in our country. We had come so far to defeat racism. I agree, Shirley. Absolutely. Like she was saying, it's 2024, man. This shouldn't be happening, man.
It's so ugly.
It is. It's ugly. It's ugly. And I can see where different races would get offended about that, man. You have some guy just out of the blue just say that in front of you. Man, those are fighting words, dude. You know that? He's lucky that somebody didn't crack him right in the mouth and knock all his teeth out if he's got any teeth in his mouth.
Yeah.
So I don't know this person, but Lisa said it right. In God's eyes, we all bleed the same color.
Exactly.
She put it right on the head. Yeah, we do, Lisa, and I agree with that. Terry
I
Wilkerson
think
Anderson.
one thing that had
Yes, sir, we're still on, Mitchell, man. We're in a good topic right now.
I think one other time that has pulled America together was during Pearl Harbor.
Yes, the attack of yes, I agree.
That brought us all together.
Those two events really specifically are
And it's
not
a shame
great.
that it has to be something so tragic
Dramatic.
Yes.
to unite this country on that type of level. But I mean, we need it. We need it. We need it without the tragedy. Because quite honestly, I think I speak for everybody. The past 4 years have been absolutely tragic. I mean, between COVID and everything else, the current stuff that's going on in Washington, it's all been tragic. But now we need that patriotism. We need the unity. We need it back. We need it bad.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, I seriously wonder the sake of this nation.
But here we go. Who starts that? Who makes this happen? We're only a little small piece, David. Me, you, and us that are on this show, that come on this show, we can preach this until we're blue in the face. We're just a small part. But guess what, David? We're doing our part. We're doing our part.
That's it.
But if everybody would take what we say and do the same things that we're doing and spread the word, maybe, and I said maybe, there could be some change. But, we're just a small entity of this whole big problem. But we got to keep doing our part. If we're not doing our part, David, what did we say about this show? What did we want it to do? We wanted it to be entertaining, one. We wanted it to bring out facts about different things. That's why we had the Mitchell Gunner before he went to racing. That's his forte, man. Mitchell is about cars. He knows that. But Mitchell also can bring the local stuff to you. He broke the news about the firehouse, things like that. That's why we brought Mitchell Gunner on. Byron is about one of the sharpest guys that I know that doesn't have a political science degree that can recite this stuff off the top of his head. It's amazing to me because he studied it. He likes it. It's entertaining to him. He absorbs this. He can rattle off stuff. He can rattle off stuff that you wouldn't even think. I would have to go, man, I need to go look that up.
Yeah.
I need to go look that up, man. Where did you get that? That's why I like having him. I wish he was here tonight. Me and Judith was talking about that. I wish he was here tonight. I know he's answering from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still, I wish he was here. Because one thing I do like about Byron is his facial expression. He gets mad. When it's something to do with us and our country and our political constituents,
He's serious.
He's serious, and he gets mad. How many times have y'all seen, you've watched a show, I've looked over at him and he's almost made me do it, almost cry. Cry,
You can watch
bring
him
tears
watching
to his face, and I can't look at it because it brings tears to mine.
Another thing with Mitchell and Byron that I think is exceptional is David Rodgers is our sports guy. And these two guys can communicate sports right there with him.
I'm not doing no sports.
They understand what he's saying. They add to it. They're just two great co-hosts for Mr. Rodgers and
They compliment
the
him
sports
very
show
well.
very much.
And I mean, he needs the compliment.
Yes, I definitely, you can see my face. But anyway, we do. And look, everybody's got their strong points. And Byron, and we know where our bread is buttered. You know what I'm saying? Byron, political. No doubt about it. World things going on. That's Byron. Mitchell, man, besides the racing.
If it's got wheels.
He's on top of it. Hey, but he's also, man, he can, local news, things that are going on within our community, our region. That's why he's running for school board. He sees some issues and some problems. He wants to take care of them. I can bring the little personality to it, and I can entertain both. You see what I'm saying? I can, like when Byron's talking, I know some things. I don't know it like he does, but I know some things that I can keep the conversation going.
Oh yeah, you guys work well together.
So.
And then you throw Austin in the mix, and he's just.
That's another thing. Anyway, Mitchell said, "Wow, you're still on." Yes, we are. Laura Marie's watching. We need to make it a priority to teach in school. Absolutely, agreed. Self-inflicted. America has always been divided, except in time of crisis. What you just said, right? Yep. I can't think clearly tonight, brother. I know, man. I know you were tired. He wasn't feeling good. He wanted to be here tonight. He really did. But hey, next Tuesday, and who knows? Me, you, and him may get together and say, David, what are you doing on Friday night? We're doing Saturday. We may do a show. Who knows? We'll see. We know the X's and O's. Yes, we do. Dave was saying, Dave can't believe how we can sit there and draw a play and discuss it and do it like a coach does. That's because I've studied this, just like Byron studied, you know, and he studied it too. We can draw up plays. We know what's being run. We studied football, and it just comes naturally sometimes. You know what I mean? But it's not only football. It's baseball, basketball. We pretty much got it all the way around. And the stuff I don't know in cars, she knows. Mitchell knows. CC knows. I just get the information from them. You know what I'm saying?
Franklin County does have two incredible car girls. Like, we're very lucky. Like, usually it's always the guys in the car scene, and CC and Mitchell, like, no. She's making way for women in the industry.
She
That's
is.
great.
I mean, with her job as a tow truck driver,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at what she does. Not only, and you're beautiful too, but hey, she's a pretty girl. And she is a pretty girl driving a tow truck. I mean, so don't tell me. I mean, you change oil, you do different things at the place, and you're a beautiful girl too. What I'm saying is everybody's got this perception. Oh, she's a mechanic, and she ain't good looking too. I know some beautiful mechanics. I know some beautiful tow truck drivers. You know, that's the perception people have. You know what I'm saying? And I like that y'all do that and y'all get involved in like I said, cars. David, you know cars. You studied cars for a while too. Yeah. You know your cars. But what a shame. It takes a tragedy to bring us together. Yep. Denny Ray Mullaley's watching and Joe Clark's watching. We have hit 14,500 followers with the On the Spot Motorsports Media. By the way, Thursday night at 7 o'clock, you can catch Mitchell and Robert as they do their show. I'm not sure what the topic's going to be this week. Maybe you can tell us before we go. Michael Porciazzo, what's going on, brother? Let's see. Music, football, and politics. I have to be crazy, Byron said. Yep, B. About the same with me, too. Yep, so we do have to be crazy. Did want to bring up a couple of things that I'll table over, Dave, and then we'll close the show. I can't believe we went, 2 hours and 15, 20 minutes now? Oh, boy. 2 hours and 23 minutes, David. We haven't did a show that long in a while. So, but we got on a heated subject, and it was passionate.
We had a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Let me leave you with this, and I'll leave you with this, Judith, and then you can answer on next week's show. We had the debate between Trump and Biden, right? If you want to call it a debate. I want to know, and Byron can get into this with me next week, I want to know why Robert Kennedy Jr. was not invited to this debate. If you are a political candidate, I don't care if you're the Greenpeace Party, I don't care if you're the Independent Party, I don't care if you're the Whig Party, I don't care if you're the Federalist Party, I don't care what party you're in. If you're a candidate, you should have a chance to debate. Now, here's my take on it, just real quick, and we'll table it off. And I'll let Byron get into this next week. I do believe this is CNN pulling puppet strings. Two main candidates. They had this how they wanted it. They knew exactly what they was going to talk about and to ask. It is a liberal station. Let's call it what it is. Fox is more on the conservative side. Let's call it what it is.
It's not
and
right.
they wanted, no, it's not right. And they held him at that debate. Now, if you've seen any of his debate, he simulcast it with another guy outside of the venue, outside. They were in Atlanta, but they was in another place. He actually had an audience. Whatever he asked, whatever the question was, the moderators asked Trump and Biden, he would wait till the end, and then he would answer. So some of the answers were pretty good. Some of them I didn't agree with, but he should have been in the debate. I want to know why he wasn't in that debate, and if he's going to be in the next one, because he should.
Yeah.
Right? You're a candidate. Don't you want to see?
Okay, so this is how I look at it, and this kind of answers your question. This is one of the few presidential debates that we've ever had that was no audience whatsoever. It was really just the reporters and stuff that were there,
Mm-hmm.
and I really feel like they kept it between the two of them with no live audience to minimize the distractions for Biden, because they understand that this was going to be a hard thing for him to get up there and do. They spent a week at Camp David preparing for this, and they were just trying to give him the best opportunity they possibly could. So minimal distractions, had him all prepared in order for him to get up there and put his best foot forward. And unfortunately, Joe tripped and fell again.
I disagree. Do for one and not the other. It shouldn't play out that way.
Oh, it
No,
wouldn't
and
be.
here's sort of on what you sort of said. Here's what Byron said, and I'll disagree with him on that because he's saying Kennedy's numbers ain't high enough.
That's what I think.
Okay. However, he's still a candidate. It doesn't matter if his numbers are high enough or not. What if he gave a great debate and then he turned those numbers around? What if
They
he's
didn't give him the
pulling?
opportunity.
Never gave him the opportunity to do that. He may have been able to pull some of Biden's people that and go, hey, wow, Robert Kennedy did a damn good job.
Yep. They're
You know-
afraid. They're afraid that he's going to disrupt their numbers and take from them.
For sure it is. Yeah, he's going to get some votes. There's no doubt about it. I don't know how many he's going to get. It depends what the Democrats are going to do with their candidate. Right now, I do believe Trump's numbers, I haven't checked the latest polls, Trump's numbers are very high right now.
I'm
And-
not voting because of the number.
No. That's
I'm
just a
voting
gauge.
because
All
of
that is
the
a
person.
gauge. That's a gauge for the media. You know
I
that.
had
I
a
know that's a
customer come
gauge.
in and tell me today she's voting with her pocketbook this year.
So-
She's always voted Democrat, but she's voting with her pocketbook this year.
You know what that tells me? She's voting for Trump because he's the one that can change her pocketbook, right? Or keep her pocketbook or whatever she has. So that's the one thing. The second thing is, I told you I had a little, I know how we can cut the deficit. I'm going to let Byron and you guys next week tear the mess out of it. I know how we can start cutting into the deficit. As long as there's no more spending. Yeah, right. Even if there is, if you keep it moderate, I know how we can cut it.
What's your plan?
What's my plan?
What's your plan?
How many millions of Americans did they say we had in this country? 31 million?
And then add another 11 million that are not actually Americans yet.
Okay,
So-
well, so, all right, so we can't get, because they're not registered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not here.
They're here, but they're
Well, they're here, but we can't keep track of them. We're going to have to deport those guys if they're not here legally. All right, so now, out of the 331 million Americans, I'm not sure. There's some people that's on unemployment. There's some people that's got their own business. Some people that, but for the most part, everybody, those 331 million Americans, we should have track of, right? In some sort of form or fashion, whether it's through the IRS, somewhere,
Security
Social Security
Administration.
Administration, all that. So, this is actually, too, Autumn's idea. Me and her was talking about this the other night at the debate because she wanted to know what I thought after the debate, which is what most people are saying right here, was pure crap. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
So we started talking, and she goes, Dad, I have a way to cut the deficit, or cut into the deficit. I was like, really? I said, well, I have one too.
Uh-oh.
So we both said it, and we both said it at the same time, and we agreed. It's called the penny plan. So, the penny plan is, you're already getting tax, right? Federal income tax, right? If you take a penny from each and every American, whether you're working or not, if you have a family of 4, it costs you 4 cents a day, okay? By the time you get to the end of the week, you've collected times. Anyway, it comes out to $8 billion a year that you could put straight toward the deficit. Problem is, it keeps running up, right? So what are you cutting into? Second thing is, and this is where I want y'all to rip it, who's in charge of it? Who do you trust? Who do you trust to keep those books? Third thing is whoever's doing that needs to come to the American public every week or every month and say, this is where we're at. This is how much we paid toward the national debt.
Yeah.
But it has to be somebody trustworthy. And it has to be, somebody's going to have to monitor it. So, do you trust your IRS?
No.
She said no. Do you trust IRS?
I don't know.
About as far as you can throw them, right?
Right.
Okay. Do you trust the Social Security system?
No.
I think there's money there. Is there going to be money there for me in 5 more years when I want to retire? I don't know. Is there going to be money here when she wants to retire in 20 years?
Are they using Social Security for other things like weapons?
Who knows?
Yes.
Who knows? And you're right. Nobody says, because nobody is coming out and saying we had to take money from Social. They just do it.
Yeah.
So here's the problem with that plan. Byron said, lots of laughs. It's been trying a little different way, and they couldn't get it through Congress. Look up the penny plan. So I guess they tried this. Did they call it the penny plan, Byron? So anyway, it could work. It could work if the right people were in charge of it. And it wouldn't cost you that much more. You're getting ramrodded with federal income tax right now. Thank God we don't have a state tax.
Yes.
Because some people are getting ramrodded with state tax. Thank goodness.
Tax on everything.
Yeah.
My
Social
son moved to
Security.
Indiana, and like he's dealing with it.
Oh
over
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So,
He moved from here, right?
Yes. From
and that was a
Indiana.
shell shock to him, right?
Yes.
Are they taxing the tax?
They're
But for
everything.
sure.
Everything.
Okay, so Byron said yes, they did call it the penny plan. All right, I think we should instill that back. I don't know why Congress wouldn't pass it, because it's the most simplest way to knock down the deficit. Again, there's several holes about it.
Is there anything out there going toward knocking the deficit down?
No, they're only increasing.
No,
it.
the number keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. If you look at it,
It's crazy right now because they're throwing money at things that are not a priority to the American citizens, and it's continuing to add to our deficit. And that's one of the biggest issues with it. Is we the people, like, we have things that we feel like are priorities, but our government doesn't see that way. It's easier for them to send money overseas in war relief and aid and everything else.
I
And
kind of see Ukraine in that category, but if we don't help to the point to where Russia takes Ukraine over, what's next?
oh, there's
Other countries
countries.
there, and before you know
They
it,
would love to have Poland.
Russia's got
Everything, all of it.
everything again.
Again, and that's what they want. They want, as Byron has said before, the USSR. They want they want Russia to be Russia again. All these independent countries, forget it. They want to be under communistic rule, just like Russia is right now, and they will. If you let them, they will. They'll do that.
That's like how we was with
Yes, Byron, I agree. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Britain
Yeah. Well,
back in the day.
well, look, it took a 2% tax from Britain for us to stand up as a country and say we're not going to be a part of this. And right now, most Americans are looking at upwards of 40% from our own government, and we're suddenly fine with it.
see, and I don't. Here's the problem. The gold standard,
Gone out the window.
right here, David. Look, we can
And
print money,
the
print money,
Federal
printing money,
Reserve
printing money,
ruined it.
printing money, printing money. What's backing it? My ass?
Nothing.
I mean, come on. I'm sorry. There's nothing backing our money that we're printing anymore. We just keep printing, and here we go.
Well, that has us.
Here comes the national
back.
deficit. It just keeps rolling. Why?
And it's gonna
Because you're
continue to
spending
grow.
more money. You're sending more money that's printed that ain't backed by nothing. That causes inflation. That causes everything about this deficit being out the roof right now.
Yeah.
So where do you stop? Somebody's got to say, we have to stop. Who's going to say that? I think President Trump would, but he's got to have backing. And like Byron said, Congress, they really control everything, to be honest with you. I mean, it's their decision to do this or not to do this. Yes, President can veto it, but he can get overrode with that too. So it's a whole crooked mess.
Yeah.
You've heard Byron and Mitchell and all of us say that needs to be fixed. Somebody's got to fix it. Well, I can make the penny plan work, and I'm going to tell you how I can do that. I'm going to appoint Byron Bagwell, the head guy, to run the penny plan. It needs to just happen. Byron takes that money and makes sure that it gets paid to the deficit. He's got a ledger. He comes on live on whatever, YouTube, whatever, and he tells the people that I paid that debt.
So,
Or paying towards the debt.
the government doesn't want it, so why don't the people come together to do it?
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Here's a better idea. Make the politicians pay the debt. Yeah. Here's another one. Pass the Fair Tax Act. We've talked about it. See, these people, you know what the Fair Tax Act is.
Oh, I'm looking at
If
this
it-
other one.
Oh, which one? Oh, the one
Federal
below it?
Reserve.
Oh, yeah. Passed a balanced budget amendment. I agree, Byron. Disband the Federal Reserve. I
agree with that one 100%.
Oh, me
The
too.
only problem with is the last president that stood up and even spoke about wanting to end the Federal Reserve met a very, very bad demise. I mean, it does too much bad. I mean, it's great for the people at power. With the Federal Reserve, they get to play with our money. But at the same time, the people of this country, because of the Federal Reserve, our dollar doesn't mean anything.
Talking about Kennedy.
Byron said, laughing my butt off. No!
He might have
Don't
to
put me in that spot.
Bradford County can't lose Byron.
Oh, no, man, I can't afford to lose Byron either.
Like, we can't lose Byron.
But no, there's some things that can be done that needs to be done. Look, we'll table those off. I know we've been going, gosh, Lee, Dave, what time is it? Man, it's 9:37,
I gotta go see
David.
my husband.
Man, I've got to go use the restroom. By the way, thank you guys for tuning in. Please go visit the Splash Bash. Mike and his crew, Judith, and everybody's put in a lot of hard work to this thing. Please go out there and visit Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You've seen the flyers. You know the times. Go out there and have a good time. It's free to get in and to do certain things. I know it's going to cost you money for some food and things like that, but really
But there's going to be lots of free stuff going on.
yeah.
Fantastic Fire Parade's going to have
Popsicles.
There's going to be lemonade and stuff along the parade route. Like, the kids are still going to be able to go and have a good time.
Yeah. So, and then again, I want to thank Dave for his story and what we talked about today about the racism and just things that our country need to work on. And I want you to think about those things that I said about the debate and about Kennedy and about the penny plan and about knocking this national debt down. Byron said the banks get to change countries' interest. Yeah, very true. On behalf of our producer and director, the Dancing Destroyer himself, Super Dave Holland, the missing Austin Stevens, the missing Byron Bagwell, Mitchell Gunner has got a show I wanted to say real quick because it isn't. Next show is on July 18th. Robert is racing at the World Foot Brake Nationals at Bristol, Tennessee. So next show, July the 18th, David. It ought to be a good one. Make sure you tune in to Mitchell's page on the Spot Motorsports Media, part of our page. I want to thank him for what he does and what Robert does. They do a fantastic job. I want y'all to have a great night, a great week. Splash Bash again. I'm going to keep pressing it. Splash Bash, Splash Bash, Splash Bash. Man, it's hard to say, isn't it? 15 times in a row. Please go and see what's going on out there. We'll be doing some things out there as well. You can come see me and Judith. But I want to thank everybody that tuned into the show tonight. David, it was a really good show. Thought we got a lot of things done tonight. And we really talked about a lot of things. Again, Byron will be with us next week. And Judith, I want to thank you and Michael for coming on, talking about Splash Bash, hanging out, talking about different things with us and different subjects that affects not only our community, but it affects our country. Exactly. And when it affects our country, guess what? It filters down and it affects our community. So, who we got? What you got?
My cup is green.
Oh, look at that. Her cup is green. That's why. Look at that. Hey, look,
Yeah.
You know what it looks like? It looks like a Guinness. You know, she's drinking Guinness. Oh, actually, her arm disappeared, too. Her hand disappeared, David.
If you had a green shirt, then you'd just be a talking head.
A talking head.
My favorite
try
color
that
is
one day,
green,
Dave.
and I had to go through my closet today and find something that wasn't green, and there's not a lot, and I'm like, I guess this will work.
Shirley Bagwell, look at me. I hope you're still on. Yes, that is true. Remember what we spoke about today? Yeah, that is. Absolutely. So me and you, yeah, you guessed right. You know what I'm talking about, right? You don't have to say, but you know what I'm talking about. Absolutely. So we'll make something happen. Happy 4th of July to everyone. Absolutely. If I don't get a chance to see you guys, man, it was a great show, David. I almost hate to end it, but we need to, man, because my stomach is growling and I have to go do something.
Dave,
Yeah.
say good night.
Good night, everybody. God bless you.
The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's host, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it'll be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.